In the White House, President Eisenhower signs the proclamation that makes Alaska's entry into the Union official, nearly 92 years after Lincoln's Secretary of State bought the territory from the Russian Tsar for $7 billion.
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They're the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Lawn Pro AK, your year-round professional property maintenance company, providing services such as weekly lawn maintenance, driveway sweeping, snow and ice management, and tons more. Get your free estimate today at lawnproak.com.
Anchortown Dogs, located at 4th Avenue across from the old 4th Avenue Theater. Look for the blue and gold umbrella. From reindeer dogs to bomb euros, they've got you covered. Anchortown Dogs, your local gourmet hot dog and sausage cart.
Menegato's Accounting, locally owned and operated advisory and tax accounting solutions. Passion, experience, diligence. Learn more at menegatosaccounting.com.
Double Shovel Cider Company, located off Arctic and 58th. Handcrafted Alaskan-made cider. They also have a tap room downtown on the corner of 5th and E. Check them out at doubleshovelcider.com.
Serrano's Mexican Grill, 2 locations, one on Tudor, one on Northern Lights. The Northern Lights location has their new tequila bar. Check it out. Also see their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation. Find their products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more at the Treehouse AK and other dispensaries around the state. Ask your local bud tender about AKO.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway. Your all-in-one cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Woo-hoo. Pop that top.
ASMR. I had to explain to these guys what ASMR means.
No clue.
Can you define it now? No takers?
It's making things sound real good.
Yeah. You just abbreviate acronyms. Yeah, like JJB, it's cool.
ASMR.
What is it?
ASMR.
Figure it out.
Alaska Wild Project MR. I don't know. I just went on a rabbit hole on YouTube. I was like, what is this? And it, basically for people that don't know, it's like intense, close to your mouth video and audio of people like saying certain things, or like a recording of someone like it could be like a moose scrape, but it's like really like intense, like focus on that sound. Things like that, where it's just you're highlighting the audio or the sound of a
straight HD.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. I mean, that's what I noticed.
Yeah. What's the acronym?
I don't know. Could we look it up real quick, actually? So
Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response.
Remedian?
Is a relaxing, often sedative sedation that begins on the scalp and moves down the body, also known as a brain massage. ASMR. Oh, okay, I looked up the wrong thing.
Actually, what you were describing there is when you go to your kid and you put your hand on top and you go like that, like this, and you do like the egg dropping. Have you ever done that? And then you do like this?
No.
You never done that?
No.
I'll have to do it to you later.
All right.
It's maybe one of those things that Mr. Hans.
I was just going to say I had a flashback.
To bring up Hans. Oh, speaking about Hans, I want to make a quick update on the Patreon stuff. We have all of our new merch in. We have our hoodies. We have our hats. We have new women's hoodies.
Those
We
things
got
look
shirts.
nice,
We got
dude.
all kind of water bottles.
The women's one.
The sunglasses are on the way.
Yeah.
We just made a decision on that. And so if you are a Patreon, we are going to do a quick story. And in that story, before the story or maybe after the story, we'll give you the discount code.
Yeah.
So that if you're a Patreon member, you can get a discount on any of the merch, whatever you want to go. It'll be a significant, I'm saying at least 20% discount off whatever you want on the website. And so if you're a Patreon member, be on the lookout for that. And the stories that we're going to come with. I want to do the Han story. Actually, that was one of the first recordings we ever did. I'm not going to, without getting too far into it, Hans was the guy that my dad used to take us to get our haircuts with. And it's just the whole thing about this guy, Hans. And so
There's a guest speaker, right? There's a secret call in that one.
Yeah, there'll be a secret call. So anyway, in the Patreon, we're going to just do these little stories where some of them might be quick, like 15 minutes or, up to an hour or whatever. So Patreon members, if you're not a Patreon member, you can just go to our website. It's the best place to go, alaskawildproject.com. Scroll down and you'll see the Patreon link. Or you can go to patreon.com/alaskawildproject and sign up there. It's $5. It's $10. One dude put $50. What I think Wes is on there actually, man.
Yeah,
Wes is
Wes is
actually
on
a
there.
Patreon.
Yeah, man. I was listening to podcast all the way down to Valdez and back, and was really appreciating it, and heard your guys' option there, and I was like, no, I'm gonna support them.
Thanks,
Right
man.
on, man.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that,
Super
Wes.
cool.
Oh, we didn't even introduce. We have Wes Canfield here, our really good buddies. He's been brought up on the podcast multiple times. I don't know if you listened to all of them. Your name has come out lots of times. Wes is here now with us today.
Yep.
You can follow Wes on his Instagram page at Canfield907, CANFIELD. He Canfield. He can stream.
What up? Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. It's an honor to be here, and looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's nice of you to show up kind of last minute, too.
It's funny. We kind of got the kids running in a few different areas tonight, and I had to text the wife, and she's like, "Fucking do it."
That was her response?
Yeah,
That was
dude.
straight
Wow.
up all caps. I was like, "All right, I'm good."
Sweet.
She'll
Sarah's,
handle it.
man. Your wife is a badass, dude. If
Yeah.
you guys,
Whoa.
what's her
She
Instagram?
is.
It's like Hunt Fish Lift Alaska.
Yep.
Hunt.fish.
Sounds
Man, we got to look it up. We'll look it up real quick,
Yeah,
please.
man. She is a G. Straight up.
Yeah, Sarah is a bad. I mean, she's working out, dude. She's getting fit. You guys just took the whole family out there for the moose hunt, which is amazing. That's just awesome, dude. Awesome.
That's the last thing she texted
Dude,
me.
training for 2022 hunting in progress. Like, it just got over yesterday,
Nice.
and she's already in the gym.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, she
Pulling
she
up right here.
recognizes.
Here she is.
Yeah, hunt.fish.lift.alaska. That's a pretty cool name.
Yeah.
That's my queen.
There you go.
For you, Wes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, man.
Man.
How was taking the whole
Lucky
family out
man.
on the moose hunt, man? How was it?
It was awesome. It's a learning experience. It's our first time doing anything like that. Living in a tent for 12 days with a 4 and 6-year-old, almost 6-year-old.
Wow.
But we were real fortunate. The weather cooperated. I think we had like 1.5 days of rain. We made sure we got them good liners down, covered up with grundens, to seal everything in and just, focus on keeping their attention buckets filled.
Yeah.
Great word. Attention bucket.
So
Like
it's my boy Calder. He fed me that, and I'm going to drink from that one forever.
You should do that in an ASMR voice.
Attention bucket.
Dude, you just massaged my brain.
Oh, man. My scalp crawled right there.
Yeah, it was good. The kids, they're going to remember that forever. It was challenging when it came to the hunt. Keep them quiet, but I worked out a little plan where I built like a fort off and away from where we were spotting, where we were calling the moose into. So kept them away from the action, but we brought them right up when it was time to shoot. So they got to watch, and they're going to remember that stuff.
That's awesome.
That is so cool.
So you just kind of took turns hanging out at the fort with the kids and
Yeah.
kinda doing that whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
I wondered that, man. That's if you didn't have patience, you probably have lots of patience now. Because, man, I commend you guys, dude. That was
It's tough because we
amazing.
took our kids on the youth hunt, and even at age 10 and 12, it's like, shh, You know,
Yeah.
like we're hunting.
Second day at the end of the
they're
day.
still
they were
they're
just,
still
fidgety
young and
yeah.
so full of energy, and you just got to have like pockets of quietness, and then you're like gotta like, all right, well, let's go over here where you can be loud and throw rocks or whatever, and then come back to like
Get your jitters out.
quietness. Yeah,
We figured it out the first night when we were spotting. We're like, they were so active and like couldn't just sit and spot.
Right.
So I was like, all right, next time we're taking turns. Someone spots, someone hangs with the kids, and keep them occupied, give them that attention they need,
Yeah.
and learn what's going on.
Right.
Train them and teach them.
Yeah.
But it was good. I'm looking forward to the next one.
What kind of things were you doing to keep those buckets full?
Picking blueberries, like literally building forts, hauling firewood,
Yeah.
Busy work.
building guns with like stones and rope, like wedging these stones into these branches that gave them like lasers on the end of this wooden gun.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
slingshot goes a long way too.
Oh, yeah.
They're not quite there.
Not
Yeah,
quite
not
there.
quite.
Not
there.
quite.
Yeah. Yeah. No, go ahead, Jack.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, I was just thinking about, like the patience and to stay in tune with your kid, and then, when they're tired and they're getting cold or, like getting hungry, they got to go to the bathroom. I mean, like there's like so much more than just like keeping them busy. It's like monitoring all that stuff, and then being that little, I can only imagine their sensory was overloaded with the whole everything going on around them, the fresh air, the bugs, the animals, the conversation, the just being outside in the tent. I mean, that's a fun thing to a kid all in itself, is sleeping in the tent. And I mean, a kid's just basically running all day, just overloaded with all this really cool stuff going on around them. So
Speaking of the tent, I got a question. I'm always curious on what families do in the tent as far as like the sleeping arrangements, because I know in our tent, we just started bringing the cots. If it's me and my wife and the two boys, and the two boys are in the middle on the pads, and me and her on the outside of the cot. How do you guys do it?
So we had an Arctic oven with a stove. We were next to the
Sweet.
stove, put the kids on the outside, and we just split the tent in half. So Sarah was on one side, I was on the other, and we just rotated with the kids.
Cots,
took
no
turns.
cots?
No cots. One of the things we learned, we be getting cots.
Yeah.
Bleed out.
Yeah. Well, for a moose hunt, and we
cot?
talked about
Yeah.
that on the last one, moose hunts is cots. I mean, if we're just going to the river, we don't bring cots because you're trying to minimize the weight sometimes. We just all kind of pile in there together. Scotty P, I was noticing his, I was been looking, when every time a family rolls up, I'm like, let me look what you got going on in there.
take a peek.
And he had the bunk bed cots from Costco.
Damn.
And he had those, so his two boys were on the side, and then him and his wife were together on the other side, and the whole middle was like a play area. Oh, no, they had it like, because he had the Cabela's Guide 8-man.
Oh, yeah.
So he had like, on one corner was his, and his wife was on the other corner, and then the kids, so they covered all three sides, and
Yeah,
the middle
yeah.
was wide open for like whatever, dude. They
Yeah.
had all kind of toys and stuff in there. I was like,
That's
that's cool.
cool.
The bunk bed just
Yeah.
adds another.
There's that bunk bed cot.
Oh, yeah.
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 Massive room savings.
That sounds awesome.
And a
Stack it.
adult can sleep in. It's like a 6-foot
Really?
thing.
That's awesome.
Those would be
I've never
really
heard
cool
of
at
this.
Moose Camp.
You
I
should
never
almost
thought
just do
about
2
that.
of those.
Yeah.
You and the wife on one bunk bed,
Yeah.
and the kids on the other, and just have massive room.
Well,
It'd be-
I think. Oh, go ahead, Jack.
It'd be kind of cool to have those at Moose Camp, and then like the top one is what you sleep on, and the one below it is like storage for your like clothes, and you can lay stuff
so your
out
stuff
really nice.
isn't all over the place.
Yeah,
Yeah. And they're probably going to get better and lighter with those. They're a little bit heavy. We actually use those down in the house in Arizona, where we have just one bed in that bedroom in my mother-in-law's house, and we have the bunk beds at the end, so the boys sleep there,
yeah.
and we sleep in the
There you go,
bed.
Jack.
Yeah, there it is, a picture.
Oh man, that thing
They had
is
them at
cool.
Costco.
Yeah.
Right now we're looking at the Cabela's one, the disco bed, extra large cot bunk beds, $329 for both, which is a good deal because I mean one cot alone is almost $100.
What's the weight?
81 feet is the length, so you could definitely fit an adult on that.
81 inches. Yeah.
81 inches, yeah. Do they got the weight? They probably don't even want to say the weight. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's got to be 50 pounds at least, right?
Yeah. But you're going
weight
on the
of
moose hunt. I
62 and a half.
62.
Max cap
That
of
is pretty
250. So, I
heavy.
mean, you can put a couple 250-pound dudes on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what the main thing that's cool about the moose hunt is that, if you're not floating, which I guess totally is different, I think in general you're going to like a campsite and you're setting up shop for 5, 6, 7 to 10, maybe 12, 14 days. And that's where that cot comes in handy because you're not you're not hunting nomadically. You got a fort. And so air pad is great when you're having to tear it down and put it up every day.
Yeah.
So that bunk is that extra weight. It's like, yep, I'm gonna sleep good every night.
Yeah, and I'm sure Costco will have them again come springtime.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I would consider that I mean, you could put
That's
two-
a good
two
idea,
little
yeah,
kids on
Jack,
there.
where you sleep on the top and then you put all your gear. It'd be so organized.
Yeah. So I already do that now. I bring my clothes dry bag, and then in that I have a bunch of other little tiny dry bags, and so it's all set out, but it's on the bottom on the floor, and so if it's
All dirty or something. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get dirty, but it could be wet.
Yeah.
And you're reaching under, it just kind of naturally becomes unorganized. But something like that, where it's like at your knee height, would be nice.
So would you sleep on top and put the gear on the bottom?
Yeah, either or.
That's what I'd do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you want to have two of them in your tent, right? And so my side, I'd be on the top, and then have my cousin be on the bottom on his. So then when the bear comes in, naturally eats him, and then I can just shoot
you
him.
put the
from
beef jerky on the top on his.
Yeah.
You could just sit and swing around and hang your legs off the edge.
Yeah. Last year we were sleeping there, and it was like, and I was listening to like podcasts and stuff when I went to bed, but there was this like right next to my ear, and I was like, "Fuck, there's a bear right next to the tent." And then I just kind of moved, and it ran away. Ooh, yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, that'll make the hair stand up on the back of your neck.
Yeah, the one stick they break coming in just happened to be feet from my ear.
I'm here, Jack.
Yeah.
Did you guys see any bears on your moose hunt?
I did not, but our buddy that was with us, Calder, he went in and Sarah went in. They spike camped out one night and they saw 3 black bears with 2 sets of cubs each. And then I think they saw one other boar that he made a move on, but spooked it and it went in and booked.
Okay.
I didn't see any.
Is
Just
your moose
black
camp
bears.
up there on Upper Huffman
Yep.
Trailhead, right by
That's
Chad's?
right where we snow machine to. It's a great fishing hole.
Yeah, Upper Huffman,
Huffman's got
dude.
it all.
Upper Huffman
Yeah.
Trailhead's got it all, man. You guys should look into
About
that.
mile 17, hit the Y, take a right to Moose Creek there.
Second right.
Oh, second right. That's right. That one trail. It's got the tree.
Well, you have a flagging tape there, right?
I always have to
It's
flag it.
really faded.
It has
though.
his initials on it. You can barely
It's
see
white
them.
now. The flag, it was pink. It's all faded to white. Oh, man. What did you guys do with the moose meat? Do you take it somewhere? Do you process it yourself?
Yeah, so typically I go to this local butcher, and you guys have talked about him on the show, John. He's awesome.
Johnny Wags,
Yeah,
the game shop.
he's got the good stuff.
He does.
But he's getting up there, and he's not taking quarters. It's hard for them to move around, so I knew I was going to have to debone it, and as I started doing it, I'm just like, I'm going to do it all.
Oh, hell yeah.
Take it all off the bone. I'm going to pull all my steaks, all my roasts. Made a bunch of real nice asada cuts,
Nice.
stew meat, big roast, fatty steaks, and then trimmed all the rest up for John to turn into, the sausages and stuff that we're going to have. So that took a week
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
solo, but it was worth it.
Yeah. You keep the bones.
We saved the hind legs. I'm going to give that a shot this year,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Got them in the freezer.
Bone
Gave the
broth.
dogs the front.
Yeah.
Saved the scapulas.
Yeah.
They're big. They're going to be nice.
The
Rakes
baritones.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big
Yeah,
baritones.
definitely. What'd you get off the bone, off your moose this year? Were you able to weigh the net total?
I did. I weighed everything that I took in plus what we already cut and froze, and it was 300.
Sweet. That's about what I got off mine too, like 330.
What's your favorite Johnny Wag product? Ooh.
The jalapeno cheese dogs.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
hands down.
That's it's the go-to. I mean, everyone that has them are impressed with them, and I just can't get enough of them. Like, they don't get old.
Yeah.
Kids don't like them. So this year we got cheese dogs just for them because they can't handle the spice. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this
Soon enough.
is the regular dogs that you had, the deer dogs that you brought out on our pretty much this whole winter when we were doing
the wieners.
Are those from Johnny Wag?
No, those are Indian.
Indian Valley, just plain hot dog.
Yeah, it's called a traditional wiener. Yeah. German wiener.
The German wiener.
So John makes a hot dog that's not like a smoked sausage, like the jalapeno cheese or garlic cheese or garlic. His dog is going to be like the same size as the jalapeno cheddar, but it's just oh man, I guess.
Is it still in a sausage shape? It's not like a hot dog shape?
It is. It's like in the normal size that he makes them. His casing and his hot dogs are like the same.
So
They're
it's like a curved, like a sausage. It's not like the deer dogs where it looks like an actual hot dog.
Right. Yeah, and they're in like the separate plastic.
Oh, where you have to peel off that outer plastic.
Deer dogs are in that plastic, and there's something about the way that those are made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I've never actually had his regular hot dogs. I've never, no.
Neither have I. But the Indian Valley, those are go-tos. They're really good.
Yeah. For hot dogs, Indian Valley, it's the ticket for sure.
Yeah,
their deer hot dogs are like it's like a ballpark Frank, man. It's
so good, dude.
Next best thing.
It's almost as good as
I had two for lunch
downtown.
Today. Two. Almost.
Right.
No, that's better. Good thing they can't sell them because it put me out of business. Yeah. Those are so good.
Yeah, John Lau and Earl, they really like Alaska sausage. So this year we did the moose there, and we got the kids the hot dogs, from there. And last night was their first night. We just got the meat yesterday, and it was the kids' first night eating them. And they just both looked at me and they're like, "This isn't the caribou dog." And I was just like, "Well, what do you think?" And they're like,
"Oh, so versus the
caribou,
the jalapeno cheddar,
no,
or the regular
hot dog at
there versus
Indian Valley."
I think that Alaska sausage. I mean, I do a lot of business with both of them.
Yeah,
is more on the plain side versus the seasoned side. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like suitable for like every palate.
Yes.
Make sure.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's more like a commercialized, middle of the road flavor.
Yeah, by design.
Yes.
I think they're trying to appease every, mild. Like for us, we want that smoky, hot, cheesy. Like Johnny Wags is, you boil that thing and then throw it on the grill and it's got this like pocket of cheese on the side. It's about to burst and
just burn your face.
Yeah.
I have a story about Johnny Wags hot dog, man.
Let's hear it.
You know Kevin Stevens, Whip?
Yeah.
All right. Arctic Man, like 2007.
Wait, should we save this story for the Patreon?
Oh man,
I'm already
going.
Okay, all right.
that is a Patreon story in itself, but we'll do the short and dirty on Whip. So dude brings a grill out, next to his race trailer, and we're just all piling it with game meat, burgers, and hot dogs. Well, I got 2 5-packs of Johnny Wags' jalapeno cheese, and as soon as I bust those out, they like clear all the other shit meat off that thing, and they're like, "Oh, cook all these up." So I just brought the bombest shit ever to the table, or grill in this case. Anyway, man, Whip he been going all night. It's like 4:00 in the morning, man. Long story short,
At Arctic Man.
Yeah. So I have a little cooker on the right. I got a pot of beer boiling, and I'm just dropping those things in there and just pulling them out once they plump up, and just right over the grill and just. And I throw the last 4 or 5 on there. And then Whip just comes right out. I just put it on the bun. I mean, grabbed it off, put it on the
blazing
bun, and the blister on the side is still boiling. The cheese is boiling inside, and this dude just blacked out, just comes and grabs his dog, dude. It's just biggest bite ever.
Can you do it closer to the mic, ASMR style?
Let's just say there was liquid hot magma that squirted on the side. On the side of his cheek, dude.
That's where he got that scar.
Oh my god, man! And then he didn't even know the next morning what happened because he had like a blister, little patch on.
Cheese, boiling cheese.
That's a true Arctic fan story for sure.
Oh my god, man! That's just one of the many that year. That was one of the last good years where you could kind of go full Western out there, but. Man, that made me kind of cry and laugh because I was, it's just whenever you guys say jalapeno cheese dog, it's like flashback of Whip just getting
whip.
I burn my
Whip.
mouth every single year, dude. It doesn't matter, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're out ice fishing and that thing's hot and you just want to eat it and you don't want to wait, dude. You just,
no, I
and
got
it
no
just gets
time.
the roof of your mouth or something. Just that's it. Just burnt.
And it's worth it.
There's been a
Still
few
worth
years where Wags just had some different casings that just had more tough to them.
Yeah, like more
And-
snap or.
And when you got into those, they would definitely send liquid magma shooting
They're holding the
to
pressure.
people next to you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Usually like a 5-foot radius. Like, just stay away from me while I eat this, okay? You might get hurt.
I get the I get these buffalo jalapeno cheddars
Oh yeah.
from Indian Valley, and I saw them at the stand. And those like will do that where it'll just like one little pinprick hole once they're on the grill, and you're turning them, and it'll just like spray, dude, like 10 feet. So when I'm grilling them, I just wait until it's about like I used to. Now I cut them and slice them a little bit, so it's not gonna just like because it's hit so many
Yeah, so you can
customers
purge 'em, you can give 'em
and
a
myself,
purge.
dude. One time it's just like boom right in my eye. Bro, I had to like drop the tongs. Dude, I'm like doing the there's like
In front of your customers?
15 people in front of me. I'm like,
I just got blasted.
oh my goodness. And then it sprayed people and they haven't noticed. Sometimes they're like talking to their friend or whatever, just comes out. And if you look at the top of umbrella, like the little stains, it's from the cheese, just like. So I used to like catch it, and I would put like the tongue like just in front of the spray, so it, like block it from like going to the customer. Like, oh,
Little do they know they just about got burnt.
oh yeah, dude. So a hot tip with that, like give it just a score like you would like a salmon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't like just explode. You know what I'm
It
saying?
can breathe a little bit.
Yeah, and when it explodes, it's always like a pinprick hole, so it just like
a
shoots,
balloon?
dude. Yeah, just oh my god, dude.
Lots of PSI.
Oh,
That's where
High
the
pressure.
air fryer comes in. You know, it's all sealed in that little spot.
Dude, I haven't thought about doing.
The dogs are better in
you
air
kidding
fryer
me?
than anything else.
Dude,
It's
you know,
crazy. It's a
Big
game
Kyle was
changer.
telling me the steaks too, man.
Oh, really?
He said he does a whole straight up New York steak in that thing, dude. He was showing me pictures. I was like,
I'm
whoa.
gonna have to try this.
A New York
Air
steak in
fryer,
the
hot
air
dogs,
fryer,
air
dude?
fryer, what?
Yeah,
That would be.
sounds good.
I mean, the wings are better than fried
Oh,
too.
yeah,
Like they
yeah.
come out just takes a little longer, but it's. You have an air fryer?
I did. And then we took it back. It's just too small.
Yeah,
But that was a couple years ago. I'm sure they've evolved.
mine's
Oh, yeah,
pretty
yeah, there's-
small.
Mine's like
You guys know the trick to the
Like
wings,
that
right?
big?
It's about like that.
the trick to the wings. What
Yeah.
is it?
The toss.
The toss?
Yeah, so when they're cooking, about halfway through, you pull them out, toss them, stick
Yeah.
them back in. Yeah, and then
Well, I always did them
More
in oil.
consistent.
yeah, just so you kind of like move them. I mean, they'll cook all the way through, but some will be crispier than others.
Yeah.
But if you give it that,
Got me
shift
thinking
them
about
around.
that fried chicken too, and there would be so good.
I
too.
put them on the little grate thing, and then I just flip them.
So you're telling me it's time to start bringing a E2000 Honda generator and an air fryer to Moose Camp? Is that what you're trying to tell me right now?
Yeah, that'd be, dude. That's next level,
So
dude.
you know,
I'm thinking
Crop,
about putting one in this corner of the studio over there.
Cropper and those guys is Moose Camp. They have a generator and like lights and shit in there. They take that haggling in.
Dude, there's levels to
It's
Moose
like
Camp.
you have a generator. I'm like, wow.
We brought our E200 or E2000.
Did you really?
I brought my family.
Oh
Bringing
yeah, no,
everything
no,
I
I
could
got
think
you.
it was
Yeah,
like we didn't use it, but I just
yeah, you had it.
if I need it, I got it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
No, I mean,
Charge the
I
iPad.
there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That would have been
No iPads on our home.
Good for
None.
you, dude.
Really?
Good for
I don't even
you.
own any.
Yeah,
You didn't bring
You
a
don't even
DVD
own
player or
any?
nothing?
That's awesome.
Wow.
Good for you.
yeah, that's a great.
We're getting 2 new ones for Christmas.
Cool story.
You and every other American, right? Oh my god.
You can't just
but
get
like-
the Amazon Fires for like $80. That doesn't work.
No,
You
dude.
gotta
No,
get
man.
the
Once they get to 10, 12,
Oh man,
they know what they want.
my kid's gonna have to get some jobs.
Yeah. Oh, they are going to get some jobs. They put to work, but we have the thing. They only get it on the weekend. They only get it for a certain amount of time.
Nice.
It never comes out in the woods. And the thing is
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
weekends we're out in the woods, so
Yeah,
they like
yeah.
rarely get
Right.
to play with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Totally.
But like if they're going to grandma's or it's like we're trying to watch a movie or something, it's like all right, you guys can play on this for a little bit. You know.
We bring a DVD.
But
player.
you know what he looks at, dude? YouTube fishing videos.
Right,
So it's
right.
like he's like, look, that's
Yeah.
all he watches is YouTube fishing videos and how to tie this thing and this kind of fly. And
Prodigy.
it's like, okay, man, you can
Next
look
gen.
at that. I go in because you got to check on what your kids are looking at.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at his history. I'm like, this guy's like
Just geeking out hard
just
on
full
fishing.
geek out, dude. Like you would on Google Earth trying to find a new sheep spot, dude.
Right.
This guy's looking at he's like tells me his list of the fish he wants to get, and like
Sure. Where
we
it,
make
what
some
state
money
it's in and everything.
we don't live in Florida.
We're a little bit, few miles away from Texas there, bud.
You got to holler at Jordan there at Outgoing.
That DVD
right.
player on the camping trip, though, we have this like little dry bag backpack, and we've got I don't know, it's like a 15-inch with like a little swiveling thing.
Nice.
And we put a half a dozen movies in there. And it is nice to, put them in the tent, pop that up. Wife and I can go out around the fire, enjoy another beer or two, or a glass of wine, or a couple
Little
of wine.
smoke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the greens,
Yeah.
after the salad.
The treetop.
The other greens. But no, I mean, look, they watch it for 45 minutes. It's time to go to bed. They get up in the morning. You know how kids like to fiddle around in the tent in the morning? It's fun. Jump back and forth and play.
Not go out in the cold, you mean, right away and try to warm up by the fire?
Yeah, no, not mine anyway.
No. They ain't trying to do that.
But you can turn that movie on again in the morning for, a half hour and just kind of let them warm up to waking up. And
Good tip.
I mean, it's not like, I'm not sitting here like, it's better than bringing an iPad or whatever. I'm just saying that for us, it works. And the kids, you know what? It buys us parents a little bit of time on the front and back end. So that was the main.
Yeah, that's cool too.
Yeah. I mean, and then in those situations, you need that too. Did you and the wife get a chance to go out and like on a call one night, just the two of you, or in the morning or anything?
No, we had it planned, but our buddy had to bail. He had a family emergency, so he was going to give us a night to go do our own call.
Yeah.
And set out. We could have even spiked out with his tent, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. But every night, one of you got to get out and glass and call, or in morning, whatever shift.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was her in the beginning, and then in the middle it was me, and then because we moved 2 different times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys did hunt nomadically in a way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then when we finally ended up, we could do everything from right where we were. So it was
Sweet.
pretty easy.
So you guys had a hell of a harvest. If I remember, you got 3 moose and a caribou.
Correct.
Yeah, that's amazing. Beautiful big animals too. All
Yeah. There was a bull moose that was gone before we got there at about 30, but it's a Yukon moose. I mean, you're up there by the Canadian border. It's
Where exactly is your moose spot?
dude, it's Upper Huffman, second right, faded.
Pink.
right
Yeah.
by the
Flag and
Canadian,
tape?
right by the
Okay.
Canadian border, right
Okay,
there up
okay.
in Upper Huffman.
That's right. That's right.
No, I mean,
Look that up on Google Earth.
yeah, I was just thinking, you guys got some really good quality hunting time in though, as far as someone was out behind the glass or any off days or anything like that.
No, we didn't really have so much off days. I mean, when you move miles and miles and miles down the road, I mean, you're dragging up your whole camp. So you're spending a day moving. You're not really hunting then.
Yeah,
like
it's a
you
wash.
set your camp and then you go try to get some calling in that night.
Right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like your traditional, like you would think, where you would glass and have all that time. We didn't. But we weren't also seeing many animals where we were, and probably because we weren't spending the time that you typically would.
Yeah.
Yep,
But it all panned out.
definitely did.
Can't beat it.
Yeah. Did you guys enjoy some of that meat in camp?
Oh man, yeah. A friend cooked up his inner loin, and watching my kids just devour it because they had been having everything that we had packed, and food gets old,
Yeah.
Sure,
especially for
sure.
kids. And when they got to eat that, they were just like, "Oh, more!"
Yeah.
They
Well,
were
that's
about it.
Real carnivores.
Especially when they know it's ours.
Yeah.
That really gets them going.
Yeah.
Part of it.
What's the kids' favorite like dish with some kind of game meat that you guys do for them, like a regular? You guys have one, or you mix it up all the time?
Well, sada tacos, stew, or a steak.
Yeah.
Or crock pot? Maybe like
Crock pot
meals?
stew. Yeah, totally.
And they're
Nice.
still pretty little to know
Yeah.
what they really like just yet. Outside of like just getting a taste of some fresh, cooked, delicious
Yeah.
game meat. Obviously, they're full carnivore just came out.
I got
Even
videos
little.
of my son, when he was young, eating whitetail that was just cooked perfectly, medium rare, and just devouring it more. You watch me just eat,
just keep
eat
going.
more.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I want some too.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, I asked the favorite. Actually, I want to ask Jack what your kid's favorite is. Is there something that's like, boom, we're eating this at least once a week?
The kids like the steak the best, no doubt, and it can be pretty plain. And then after that, it's the hot dogs. They live like either hot dogs or Polish, but the steak, they just demolish.
Always in a
every
hot
time.
dog form, or do you like cut it up and put it in macaroni or something different?
They'll take it that way. They like it the best. I make it like a fun finger food, so I cook them in the air fryer, turn it on 400 degrees, takes like 1 minute. Then I leave them frozen for 4 minutes, and then they like puff out. They like build pressure,
You leave
and
them
they
frozen?
become bigger. Yeah, I throw them in frozen, and within 4 minutes they're
Got
fully
it.
cooked, and they like build pressure in that thing, where like different than on the grill or in the water, where they actually like gain some diameter.
Expand.
Yeah, they expand, and they in that like the oils in it are kind. It's kind of seems like maybe it's like
Straight frozen
spread
right
out.
to the thing. I
Yeah,
gotta
in
try
4
that,
minutes it's so easy.
That's
Then
great.
That's
I pop
done?
it out.
At 4 minutes, it's done.
Yeah. It's 16 because it's a 20-minute timer on mine automatically, and at 16 I pull them out, and then I cut it all the way down once, and then so now it's in half, and then I cut lengthwise, and then I cut it 2 more times, so it's in 4 length things, and then I cut that in half, so then you end up with 8 little pieces. It's like, and then I do. Each kid eats 2 whole hot dogs or a quarter-pound hot dog.
Yeah.
And they each eat 2 every time.
Just like
so we always
finger
do
food,
4
dip it in
packs.
ketchup and stuff or
They
whatever.
don't even do that. They just eat it
straight
right
raw.
out of a bowl. And
Yeah.
then at lunch for their school, I give them either steak or hot dogs from the game meat at least like 2 or 3 days a week. And that's so whenever I make that night, I just keep that. It's already hot. So while I cut that up, I put the next 4 hot dogs in or whatever. And then that's their lunch
For
for
the next
tomorrow.
day. Nice.
Super easy.
What about you, B? You got something that's like every week at least one time you guys are
I
making
would
this
say,
or that?
Yeah. Some killer caribou Italian, a hot Italian that I got from John Wagner.
Hot? The kids like the spicy?
It's not really hot. I mean, it's just like hot like it.
Oh, Johnny Wag's hot is not as hot. Like the Indian Valley hot is spicy.
Yeah. And even then the kids will usually eat that. The Italian for spaghetti.
Oh.
It's the
Spaghetti is
go-to.
the go-to?
Yeah, and then Rena, when we're on like a health kick, she does the squash. The squash. She makes the
Greco?
spaghetti noodles.
Oh, with squash.
spaghetti squash.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
do that too.
and she'll
Our
mix
kids
it up
don't like
and-
that much though.
No, actually my oldest daughter, she really likes eating healthy stuff, so she'll munch on it, and then she'll make traditional noodles for the little ones. But that's the go-to for my family, and that's a once a week like slam dunk.
You just know Thursday.
She can make that thing, and it's usually Taco Tuesday. Spaghetti's like Wednesday, Thursday, and it's or maybe every other week.
Well, every week you're doing that.
I would say at least once to 2 times a week we're eating game meat, like guaranteed. Because there are times when it's like we're busy and we're doing takeout, and then we're only doing like one weekend dinner and having dinner at my mom's house one night, and winters are crazy with like sports and all the other stuff. But yeah, for sure. And that Italian the spaghetti, and it's really good in just like a plain sauce. Just the Italian flavors that come out of that meat that cook out are enough to really spunk up the spaghetti, where you don't have to add a lot of stuff to it if you don't want to get it fancy. And and something about caribou, in my opinion, that makes really killer breakfast sausage and Italian sausage.
The Italian
that's my
sausage
favorite
is that's our thing, dude. Like this last caribou, basically we got the meat sticks and all Italian sausage. Because we'll eat that at least 1 time a week, more than likely twice a week.
Yeah.
And Alexia will make a spaghetti, from scratch, the sauce that her family has, and use that Italian and the kids. And then the other one that she makes, that actually I need to actually film it and do the recipe. I want to put it out for people. It's called Greco, Greco. It's their like family's thing that they've done. I know no one's ever heard of it, but if to describe it, it's like it's almost like a casserole with like the spiral noodles. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like a spaghetti, but like a casserole style. And there's cheese and there's beans and there's the meat in there.
It's like a lasagna.
Almost like a lasagna-ish. You know what I'm saying? And you serve it in a bowl. And the kids just love that, dude.
So it's like in a big macaroni type.
Yeah, like in a circle, Man, I wish I had a picture of it. Almost like a casserole that's in a circle deep bowl like that, and it's just like layers of meat and then cheese and veggies. And she'll do like her own other little one, and she'll use also from the garden kale and just put different stuff in there. And the kids just love that, dude. And it's really good. Like the next day, I mean, I'm not a leftover guy. I know there's some guys are, but my son is, and it's like for lunch, it's like boom, like, dude, you're warming this up in the aquarium microwave, just blowing up the caribou. I'm sure as many kids are there, you know. Yeah. But that one for sure. And then the spaghetti. So that Italian is like one that's just all the time. Of course, then we put in the steak and burger and moose burgers and. Yeah. You know, the dog, they're not that into the hot dogs, but I think it's because they've had so many different hot dogs spoiled from the hot dog man. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just like know what they like. Right. You know, and it's like, that's what they want when they want a hot dog. So when I try to like trick them and be like, slide one yeah, they're like, this isn't the Hebrew National. You know what I'm saying? This is, or whatever, you know, they just like, no, they don't. They just have that hot dog. I don't know.
So John has a new hot Italian and a sweet Italian option.
Ooh, sweet Italian.
Sweet
really
Italian.
Good
Yeah, I opted out and I went with the hot. Me too. I shared that sheep with Chad, and last week when we were cleaning moose, Rena made sheep enchiladas.
Ooh,
dude.
Yeah.
It was actually a hot Italian and the burger mixed.
Okay.
And because it was 3 of us eating, we were starving. I was like, just put it all in there. It's like 3 pounds of sausage. And, man, she made a huge tray. Oh, my God, man. It was – that sheep meat, man. It's good stuff, dude.
With red sauce or green?
It was green.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was delicious, man.
So I got some of that, a burger and
some
Italian.
Of that sheep? Yeah. Oh, awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that.
And I made spaghetti.
Hot Italian or the regular one?
Hot.
The hot.
Oh, it's hot. That's all we got.
Spaghetti,
we got hot.
And my spaghetti, I put those jalapeno cheese dogs. I slice them up thin, brown them, then put them in the sauce.
Ooh.
Damn.
Then I vacuum sealed it, and we took it on a hunt.
Oh, yeah.
So we were eating that spaghetti or that sheep in our spaghetti on our hunt.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Gotta love that, man.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. I sent Chad
You put it in a Ziploc bag and then you vacuum sealed the Ziploc bag?
No, I put it in a vacuum seal bag. I froze it.
Flat.
And then sealed it the next morning.
Yeah. Got it. Sweet. Got it.
And then it stays frozen.
Yeah.
And, you know, you don't have to worry about it, especially moose. It's not like it's a warm season. So
Yeah.
Definitely a hot tip if you're going to go out. And we were talking about camping and the food and bringing all the food. Always take it out of the package and vacuum seal it again. And if you think it's going to drip, vacuum seal the vacuum seal bag. And then you're not going to have a problem ever.
Yeah,
if you think just like 3 Ziploc bags and a Cars bag around it's going to do it, it's not going to do it.
Now those chicken wings and getting all over everything.
Dude.
It's so nasty.
Dude. We've had experiences where we go and you're on a 4-wheeler hunt or something and you have that trailer and you have the cooler in the trailer, dude, and it just turns into just a soup. Of everything that popped open, dude. Like, I had a buddy, I'm not going to tell his name. He's going to laugh because he knows exactly who he is. I was like, well, he wanted to pack the food and he had the cooler. I was like, all right. So I told him, like, you should do this. You know what I'm saying? You should vacuum seal it all, which is a task because you got to get it out of its original thing. And sometimes you'll look at, like, a steak pack and it's already kind of sealed on that styrofoam and you just think, oh, I'll just put that in a Ziploc bag and put a Cars bag and it's going to be good. No.
Rookie.
No. Full rookie mistake, dude. The whole food was done, dude. The cooler was done. Like, the cooler was done. It was just, like, full of juice, and everything is out, dude, and everything's punctured, and it's just, like, done, dude. It was just so disgusting. Vacuum seal it twice if you need to, all of it.
Yeah. And then
hopefully it was a short trip.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was a week.
It became a short trip.
Yeah, it became a short trip.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you had to kill something. The lamb.
Yeah.
You just killed a lamb.
And the other cool thing on a hot tip on the egg, I think you did the egg thing. Did you do it? Where you crack open, you'll take like a mason jar and you can put up to depending on the mason jar. Eggs just cracked open and just pour them in there, and they'll stay in there, and that yolk's not going to break.
You do that in like a Rubbermaid water bottle type with a screw cap.
Yep.
Just put a dozen eggs in there, dozen and a half.
That Costco pack of eggs does not break going into moose camp.
No,
So
we took that on our
whole,
other one.
But you buy any other one. But that, I don't know what it is about that Costco one, but we bring the whole thing into moose camp and won't have one broken egg, and our trail's not easy.
Dude,
It's crazy.
Yeah, 424 packs
Yeah.
of eggs, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's just one mega carton.
yeah.
But it
What
just
was
has
that
like
called again?
enough cushion in it.
It's the Costco one that's actually like Costco's Kirkland
Yeah.
brand, and there's like
cube.
48 eggs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I want to say it's
huge.
48
what do you
eggs.
put it in so it doesn't
Nothing.
break?
Nothing.
It just comes like
doesn't
already
break.
like loosely plasticed,
Yeah.
and whatever that little foam is in there, dude, it must be
It
some
just
like
holds it perfect.
space foam, dude. And we took the same thing on
Yeah.
on the float where we're like moving stuff every day, and that thing
rattling
is
around.
rapids, and like, dude, that not one egg broke.
No. Yeah. We
How
put
is
it
that
in a
even
cooler.
possible?
It's just, I don't know. It's amazing.
Because I had the exact opposite experience with eggs.
But were you buying just the one carton?
No, just
It was the
just a
Costco
dozen.
thing?
No,
Yeah,
just a
well,
dozen
no,
eggs.
that's the regular cartons don't do that. The other one has like the egg, the panels or whatever that the eggs sit on. The egg crate has the features on both sides, so that like egg crate that's like cushioning the egg is also on the bottom and also on the top.
Yeah,
And I don't know, it just works.
it, for some reason
It's
it
crazy.
works very, very weirdly.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know what that's made out of, but
Yeah, we
it
put
holds
in a
those eggs
cooler.
really, really
So
good.
you're giving it a full certification stamp.
Full certification. If you need to bring 48 eggs out, that's what you get.
Well, if you want to bring 24, just do that anyway. You know.
Well, they only sell
Yeah.
the 48.
Yeah. Just bring all 48 and then, make hard-boiled eggs on the last day or whatever.
Yeah, it works really good. You should
Sounds
actually pull
nice.
it up real quick so you can look at it. So
The
you know
egg
what it is.
pack.
The 48
So-
egg pack from
So the 12,
good old Kirkland.
It's a
12
Costco
pack.
egg brick.
the 12 pack,
It's 48.
pre-cracked in the Rubbermaid jug is not good.
Pre what?
The you crack 12 eggs in.
No,
the
that's
jug.
good too.
no, that's good.
That works
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
That's harder to like pour out though.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to
What I'm
like,
trying
unless
to
you're gonna
s-
cook
what I'm
all
trying
of
to
them.
say it's not good.
Okay, it's not good.
No.
No, it's not as good as
Because you
for
get
some reason this.
One time, it opens up and it gets eggs all over every single item that is frozen in a little Yeti bag cooler.
Oh, just everything's battered.
Yeah, and then you pull it out and all the eggs frozen stuck to all your stuff.
Oh man.
You have to completely clean that out when you get to moose camp.
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
then you have to apologize to your buddy for putting your eggs in his cooler.
Yeah,
That's me.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So note taken: Costco Kirkland egg OG box.
OG box, get that. And if you have a spill like that, maybe you should hit up Tailored Restoration. 24-hour emergencies, helping Alaskans restore their dreams, their coolers, their four-wheelers, and everything else since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold damage, egg drippings, post-emergency cleaning and remodeling, and the aftermath. Burst pipes, overflowing toilet, downed trees, spilt water bottles full of eggs, pet accidents, and vandalism. Tailored has an emergency response number with trained professionals available to help you at any time or day or night. I wonder if you hit Trent on the InReach, like, hey,
Is it this one right here?
the egg spilled all over the cooler, bud. Can you send a guy out here to Upper Huffman?
Get to the chopper.
Give him a call in Anchorage 344-1239 or hit him up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
When I lose all my eggs, I have to find a new source of food, and I call Serrano's Mexican Grill. Josh is over there. It's my personal go-to for authentic Mexican food. Anchorage's own generation of cocina. Recipes are inspired by their rich heritage and family know-how. All the ingredients are made in-house. I love the new tequila bar. My favorite there is the Mezcalita. You should try it. Locations on Tudor and Northern Lights. Follow their food truck location on Instagram and check out their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
The Treehouse, AK, your one-stop dispensary located at 341 Boniface Parkway. Be sure to ask the bud tender about their deal of the day because honestly, there's always something good on deck. And guys, listen, this is where the culture lives. At the Treehouse, their dedication to servicing consumers has been developed through a lifetime of involvement in the cannabis culture. They're committed to providing the highest quality products at whatever your value and budget affords while always maintaining the deep-rooted principles that have carried them this far. Their focus is on relationships over transactions, and you can always depend on them to treat you with the respect you deserve. Hit them up at thetreehouseak.com. You must be 21 years of age to enter the store.
So it's not 48. It's 5 dozen eggs.
5 dozen. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
60.
60 eggs.
Like pre-wrapped.
Which is perfect for like a
I guess I could kind of see where, that would.
A week or so trip.
Yeah.
Or dudes.
Man. Yeah, that's a lot of. I mean, that's having eggs every day.
Have you met Carlo, my brother? He's an egg connoisseur, bro.
He's just like, yeah, can I get 3 eggs, please? Over medium?
Yeah, so this straight up the Kirkland signature cage-free eggs, 5 dozen in that pack. Like, don't even mess with it. Just stick it wherever you're going to put it.
Sweet.
And it's good to go.
Those are the bodybuilder packs.
That's it? That's Hunt, Fish, Lift, Alaska? That's
no. Should do egg whites.
Oh, just egg whites. Yeah.
This is like, I eat 6 hard-boiled eggs a day.
Egg whites.
That's good. That's a good pro tip. I'll have to give that a chance.
If you're going for a week, you'd be surprised. If you go for a week and there's 4 or 5 dudes, you're cooking a dozen of them in a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One good breakfast, one good huge omelet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're going to
eat
go
the
through
whole thing.
You will. You're going to have to, on the last couple of days, be like, all right, you get 1 egg.
Well, you hard boil some too. They're great like snacks to hike around with for the day.
True.
Have you put one in the air fryer?
I haven't. That's a great idea. Ooh. I need to do
I wonder
that.
if you put the whole thing and could get it boiled, or do you like crack it open in there, like in some sort of container?
I bet you could just hard boil it instead of hard boiling it. Just cooking it in the oven.
All right, we're gonna need to report back on that.
It might explode.
It's actually a good science experiment.
Yeah. Well, it's sealed in there. No big deal. Brooks can lick it out.
I was going to share a camp meal that I concocted.
Oh, man.
This year that was 100% done by my wife, which I just came up with what I wanted to do, and she made it happen. So she
like a pre-made meal that you're going to take out there and get it going. Yeah,
so as you know, we went and got that antlerless moose earlier in the year. It was a nice young cow, and I took the rear hocks off of it from the knee down to the ankle, and they were perfectly cut and just like a little club. It's about maybe 24 inches long, about that thick.
Little calf muscle.
Yep, exactly. And I don't know, obviously you've all deboned an animal, but when you trim that meat off, it's just like, man, there's like not a lot coming off there. And it's like
really hard.
Stringy, and
a lot
it's
of
like,
tendons.
Yep. Yeah, right. So, and Ranella is the man, meat eater. He does the hocks and the bone marrow and all this whole thing. So I'm looking at this hock and I'm like, man, this is where all that bone marrow's at. I want to like do something fun with this. So fast forward real quick. I messed up when I cut these and now realize that what I needed to do is freeze them and then take the DeWalt Sawzall and then cut them frozen. I made the mistake of trying to cut them thawed, which they never froze them. So I want to cook them fresh.
Yeah.
And so, or no, I take that back. I froze them, I guess, right away because I cooked them 2 weeks later. I couldn't have done that. So I guess I did thaw them out.
Or maybe you cut them and then froze them.
Well, I cut them, cooked them, froze them. I cut it, froze it, threw it in the freezer, pulled it out, thawed it out. Me and Rena cut it. We cooked it. Then I froze it again, and then I packaged it and put it in the cooler for the trip out.
Got it.
So this is, okay, so thawed them out, cut them up. What a pain in the ass that was, because it was like the meat was trying to jiggle off the bone, and it was like a pain in the ass, but we still got them trimmed and cut. Almost cut all of our fingers off doing the process, but got out of there with no injuries. And she cooked this in a crock pot for 5.5 hours, and then I pulled them out right before they were done because my intent was to freeze them, thaw them out, and then recook them at camp and then finish cook them so they didn't dry out. Yeah. So run home from lunch. So she makes the concoction. We'll go into the detail on that. We'll put it on our big game recipe on the website. People can check that out. But crock potted it, ran home from lunch, pulled it out, and this is the end product right here. So I let them get to room temperature, and then I didn't vacuum seal them. I just put them in gallon Ziplocs. But I took the juice, which that's all minced garlic and fat. The bone marrow is all still in the bone, right? Mm-hmm. So I take this out to camp. I brought this big 12-inch cast iron skillet, deep, son of a bitch, like 6 inches deep, and I've been waiting for a reason to get this thing out there and carry that extra. I don't know. That thing's
Same
like
size,
18
same
pounds.
weight as the cot, the double cot.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like bringing a bunk bed. Anyway, I thaw all this out, man. I throw that in that cast iron. Throw this meat in there, get it up to a simmer, and let it simmer for like 45 minutes. My intent was to serve it over rice, and then I was gonna saute and butter Brussels sprouts. But this was a really late night. We didn't eat dinner until like 11 o'clock, and I was like, I'm not gonna do the full like
chef on.
Yeah, and I could have. It just would have been like a whole nother extra process. So anyway, I just served it to these guys in the bowl, and then what I did at the end is I took a fillet knife and I carved the bone marrow out of the bone, and then I set it on the side on a piece of meat, so you could like carve it off and then like mix it in your meat in the juice. And yeah, that was a pretty.
It
killer.
looks for people that can't see it and just listen. It really, I don't know if you ever had oxtail.
Exactly.
It looks like oxtail,
Yep.
where you cut that bottom
hock.
piece of that bone with the meat around it. I don't know. Oxtail is a very ethnic.
Yeah.
Did you guys eat that growing up? We ate oxtail all the time. My mom would do it just like that, where she'd like boil it, and then she'd put it in like what we call a sancocho, which is a traditional like Colombian soup, where the meat's in there like that. And now like she'll do that style, or she'll do like the pork style, where there's like the pig's actual foot is like in there with the meat and all that stuff. But that's what it looks like. If you ever had oxtail or seen what oxtail.
So this was like a semi-traditional Filipino adobo.
Yeah.
Was this recipe here?
I was just gonna say it's very Colombian, Filipino, South American.
Yeah.
You know, that South Asian. They're very similar recipes and foods.
There's a peanut butter one that my mother-in-law makes. I know, Wes. Peanut butter, right? And
I love peanut butter.
Me too. And
She Thai?
And no, but she does it when she does it with nutty peanut butter. So it has oh my God, dude. So that's my next shot, is that my wife's going to use her mom's recipe, and I'm going to do them frozen, so when they cut, they're just going to be like the perfect medallion disc.
Yeah.
And then I can thaw them out. And then
That's almost a dish you could do if you had them frozen and ready to go, and just bring out the ingredients and have that pot out and let that sit on that fire all day.
Oh man, that
you
would
guys
be
go
ideal.
on the hunt. You go in there. Maybe you come back halfway, give it a
Stoke it
little
back
stir,
up.
add the juice or whatever. You know what I'm saying, and then just come back, and that's just ready to rock.
Yeah, that would be like my dream to do that. To like next year, I'm excited because I'm not going to shoot. Like there's 3 other guys in camp that are also ready to shoot, and so we do a batting order. So I'm very excited about going next year and just being able to do all this. Like go down early, they stay up in glass. I'll get dinner coming. You know what I mean? That when they come down for dark, it's just like bam, ready to rock.
Yeah.
On my dinner night. So I'm excited next year to get to do that and execute some of these like bigger plans with the whole camp meal thing and document it and all that. So it'll be fun.
Anyone follow that Tyler
Friel?
Friel?
Oh yeah.
See him where he just cut up his moose?
Yeah. With the
I was
bandsaw.
showing you that you and Eric
Is
that the
is
other
that
day.
on, is that on Instagram or what was that?
Yeah,
on?
if you haven't
It's
seen
on
it, go to
Dad
Tyler
and
Friel, his Instagram, and it just shows. We'll actually pull it up real quick. The way he does, he basically will take the whole section of the spine, all together in one piece, and then he'll run it through like a bandsaw, where he's just cutting into T-bones.
It's a
Huge.
traditional butcher like you would do a domestic animal.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
you can do the same type of stuff, like you're talking about.
With the hawks, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I want to do. I want to get that equipment, and I want to be able to take an animal apart like that.
Yeah, look at those
You save the
T-bones,
bone,
dude.
You got
All
the
of it.
bone is in your steaks.
Yeah, where that flavor's at.
I mean,
He left all that fat on there.
Yeah.
He left all that ass fat on there.
Yeah, on that moose, it's not like caribou where it adds a little gaminess to it, or some of those other meats. Like that moose fat is delicious.
That thing is
It'd
really,
be really
slick.
cool to purchase that equipment like as like a community, and so like everyone could use it, and then you get share that know-how.
like that AK Wild Project Kill Room that you guys are gonna have one day, where
Well, I just
got
noticed
all the gear in
Over
there.
in Wes's garage.
I like that a lot, Wes.
Yeah, over there on Double Shovel Unit 8,
Yeah.
Oh,
and just have all the saw equipment and the freezer and the walk-in freezer to hang it and all that, dude. That'd be awesome.
I think you're onto something, Daniel.
Yeah, the DEC will be really excited about that.
Well,
Would you call that the kill room?
I bet you. I wonder if you could do that, or we could convince like that commercial kitchen place that just is opened up. You know, where people they're actually looking for businesses to use them as a commercial kitchen for prep for food trucks and stuff like that. Convince them to add something, just that little thing right there, and be like, hey, we'd use this once a year. All these people would use this a year.
Well, you got people using it in the spring for bear, and then you got people using it all fall and winter.
Yeah, you could do that with the deer.
That's pretty cool.
Those little deer sticks would be awesome with that, dude.
Oh man, yeah, they would.
Yeah, those look so mean, dude. Oh my gosh. The Tyler Friel. Check him out. Awesome podcast.
That's amazing.
From Fairbanks. Dude. He's just the way he cuts up that meat is amazing.
Yeah, he's the guy that takes like 20 pounds to John and has him make some like hot links, and then he does the rest of it like this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just staked out. Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah, I have like a newfound appreciation for moose steak. I had a I showed you guys that big ribeye that I made out of that backstrap.
Oh, the one I posted today?
Yeah. That thing was like the best piece of moose I've ever eaten. It was.
Don't give up the sauce because that's going to be a Patreon only.
No, I couldn't even remember it if I tried.
We'll have to get Rena in here to give up the sauce on that.
That's actually Kennedy's. That's actually Kennedy's Korean grandmother's recipe. So it's like an old family.
Let's get her in here.
Jinju,
come on. You come out here, Jinju.
Better
Show
yet,
us the sauce.
No.
Better yet, she give her a piece of meat and have her make it for the game feed.
Oh yeah.
No.
Speaking of the game feed,
yeah,
I want to broach this topic and let the listeners know. As you know, we have had one live event. We did the Dudes Day. We have a couple more that are under the works. We're going with Dustin on an event. We want to get with Jeff Lund from Mediocre on an event. I don't want to say too much about those events because we're still working on all the details. The one event that I know that we can talk about is the meat party. The game meat party. The last 7 years I've hosted it at my house. It's gotten bigger than my house as far as the people that want to come. The wives want to come. So
Yes, they do.
As one of our main yearly events, Alaska Wild Project, we want to host a game meat party for couples, and this is going to be a free event. The only thing you need to come in is bring in your best or favorite dish, whether it be a salmon dish. It has to be an Alaskan dish. It could be your best Alaskan harvest. It could be shrimp. It could be.
Does it have to be meat?
It doesn't have to be meat. It could be seafood. It could be bird. It could be fowl. It could be moose. It could be mushrooms, shrimp. It could be vegan. It could be anything. It could be your jam and all that stuff. And I want to do a prize for the best, the most original. I want to have a DJ there where it's a night where you and your wife come out, or you and your significant other come out and bring your best dish. And a potluck where everyone gets to eat all this stuff. Bring your crock pot ready to go, and we'll plug it in. We'll have outlets there to go, and just bring it ready to go, ready to eat. We'll have one night where we're going to rent out a place. I think I know where. We'll wait. We'll see if it's available. And we want to do this in probably February. We'll get 2022. So be on the lookout for the info for that, for the meat party that's going to be coming. This is going to be your chance to come over there. Maybe we'll do a live podcast. Actually, that would be kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Do a little recording over there, have a DJ come in, and just have a night where we come and we enjoy all this stuff. Maybe we can introduce where if you're bringing a dish, you kind of give the recipe with it. Mm-hmm. It needs to come with some sort of how-to, so that you can come, maybe multiple. Be like, hey, have 50 copies of your dish or whatever it is, so that any dish that you really like, you can come and you can take the recipe with it, and then you got it at your house.
Yeah.
Add it to your cookbook.
Take a photo of it or something.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's even better, so we don't have to waste the paper. Yeah. So be on the lookout for that as one of our live events that we want to do. We've traditionally been holding them the Friday before the hunts come out in February. So February 14th.
I think it's the Friday they do come out, right?
I think they come out. The Friday they do come out. Yeah. But maybe we'll do it Saturday night. Anyway, that weekend that the hunts come out is the weekend it's going to happen. And I believe that's Friday.
The third Saturday of February.
So put that down on your calendar now. The Alaska Wild Project game meet. Bring your wife. Bring your best recipe. We're probably going to have to cap it at some point on whatever the venue that we choose, however many people we can come. And it's, it's a private event. But if you want to come, we'll get you the invitation, and we'll just make a night of it, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah, we've had some really, really awesome nights at my house, and it's traditionally only been a guys thing, and normally there's like a fight or something that we get that night, and we watch the fight or the boxing match or whatever. I think one of them was a Conor McGregor one night. We got it, and we just had a blast, man. Every single one of those game meat parties. I think the first one I did, it was only like 8 of us. Then it was 20, and then it was like 40, and now it's like, okay, I can't have 60 guys at my house,
There's always too much food, too. It's
too much food. Oh, my goodness.
You want to eat everything, but you can't.
What about the clogged toilets?
The clogged toilets, dude. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, the throw up in the yard.
People sleeping in the garage.
Everyone had some really good nights on the meat party. But we want to do a venue here where we're going to have a spot that we're going to rent out, and the price to get in is, your dish. Yeah. Bring something to the table.
Participation.
We'll have Galen Nelson do up a nice plaque like he did last time.
Yeah.
For the best dish. Maybe we'll make a couple categories. Maybe we'll have some giveaways. Get some sponsors to put up a little dough and have some giveaways and stuff. And
some judges.
Some some judges.
They have to be Patreon.
Patreons, or so there's some local restaurants in town that got some chefs that may be willing to lend their palate.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Markham would
definitely Chef Adam Markham would be a great.
Oh, yeah.
He might want to put in a dish.
He might have to bring Puff Daddy to that thing, dude.
Oh, bring Puff Daddy out there?
Full smoke
so that's another good thing. So if you're doing something where you're cooking and then you got to grill it last minute while you get there so it's fresh, we'll have the grill out there. Maybe we'll have some sort of flat iron thing where you can use a pan, an oven or something like that, so that we can, you got to heat it up or something. You do? Okay, so be on the lookout for the game meat party 2022.
2022?
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
Let your wife know.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, bring the wife.
That's a game changer.
Let Jinju know. Let Jinju know come up with that.
You know what I want to bring? I'm just going to throw it out there. I want to do that peanut butter deal.
That's going to be your entry?
Yeah, well, I have some Black Bear backstrap. Got this 3-pound strip, and I want to just then do that in this.
3 pounds isn't quite enough though, bro.
I know. I'm gonna have to bring some. Well,
yeah, we're gonna make a cap. I'm gonna say we'll probably have to do 100 people. You know what I'm saying? So if it's couples, 50 couples, 50 couple invite.
I mean, you're not gonna be able to try everything. That's the reality. Yeah. Unless you're gonna bring enough to everybody can have a bite. But
bring a Tupperware so that you can take home someone else's stuff.
Right,
dude. The days that you guys would leave so much food at my house. The next 2 weeks, dude, I'm eating bison burger. I'm eating muskox sliders. I'm eating this chili from this guy. Oh my God, I would eat so good. I was I'll host this every time, just to have all this food ready to just in my freezer, in my fridge. Because dudes are hammered and I'm just gonna just have it. I'll come back tomorrow, and dudes come the next day to come get their crock pot. All,
Yeah. You're just a little slower at hockey after that for a week or two.
Yeah, definitely.
Get those
meat sweats going.
Oh, the
meat sweats.
Goodness. The last one we had at your place, I went directly from there to Petersville on a guy's weekend riding sleds.
Oh, and my goodness.
I think I was texting with you, and you're I got these leftovers. I'm those would be so good here right now.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's
ride sleds all day and pow, and then come back and crush game.
Feast.
But I brought some stuff that I was I'm going to have to bring some of this with me. I didn't leave.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Damn, how about Gary's, man? I gotta highlight Gary's larb. Larb, it's a Thai or Lao.
That was hot.
Very hot.
Yeah. Dude, his wife's Hmong, and she made that Hmong sauce.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we call it. I don't know what the traditional name is, dude. But they left the whole jar at my house. Bro, I was just Hmong saucing up, dude. Everything, dude. I was just
just put it in your Cheerios.
Oh yeah, all of it. It was so good, dude. He just left a mason jar, one of those big ones that was half full, and I was oh my goodness, I'm just pouring it on everything. It was just so spicy and so good.
Super hot.
Wes, when I first met you, you brought whitetail burgers. Was that you that brought the whitetail burgers?
Yeah,
Or was
whitetail
that Chad?
It
sliders.
was
I
a
thought it was you-
whitetail sirloin, and it was buffalo sliders.
Oh, the whitetail. Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
the
you-
whitetail because we had all Alaska stuff and you had the whitetail.
Yeah,
That
'cause I
was
remember
really,
it just
really
being
good.
my first time, and I was like, "Damn, it's so mild." It was just in the way you prepared it. I think because ultimately,
That was right after I got my trigger.
oh,
So,
Yeah.
that was
So
it.
I mean, I didn't really need to do much.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
The other
it
highlight was
dialed.
Brendo's moose ribs.
Yes.
Wow,
Absolutely.
Damn.
Oh my god!
No,
Still
They
remember
were
those.
caribou ribs. They weren't moose ribs because they were small. They were little bits. They weren't moose ribs. They were caribou ribs.
That was the second year. He brought moose ribs and he didn't get a moose the next year, and so he had caribou and he brought
that's
caribou
right.
ribs,
You're
and they
right.
were just
you're
as
right.
good.
They were the moose ribs that were the first year because he had a shit ton of meat.
Yep,
That's right. Okay, my bad. It was the caribou the next year.
yep. Double shovel come through with a keg or two. Man, we're gonna be legit, dude. This party's gonna be.
Those goat enchiladas. Didn't you bring those that one
Oh,
time?
the goat
Bro,
enchiladas,
bro.
dude. Oh,
Mountain goats are
God.
delicious.
Yeah, my first taste of goat was like, I'll eat goat.
It's
I want to get a goat
sure,
so
dude.
bad, dude. I
it's
wanna get a
crazy
goat so
that they're
bad.
actually the only antelope in North America, you know? And so like when you hear about all these animals in the plains in Africa, and a lot of the ungulates are
Ungulate.
antelope,
Yeah.
so they all taste like probably like the mountain goat. And then probably not as tough meat, but man, they're fucking
What's
delicious.
a pronghorn?
Pronghorn is a pronghorn. It's its own
Yes.
species. So yeah, the only
Really?
native antelope to North America is the mountain goat. So it doesn't taste like goat.
So they call antelope speed goats, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a nickname. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean that they're actually like. So wait, this is gonna sound ignorant. So Ovis is like mountain dwelling, right?
look it up. You got the internet
Yeah,
at your
yeah.
hands.
I'm just like, this is almost like trivia, like off the cuff, but
What does Ovis mean?
yeah, like I thought it was like, I don't forget what it was.
We'll have the
It's
answer.
like, well, it's like sheep. Okay, so Ovis is genuine genus of animals, part of. Hold on a second, let me get a better. Yeah, so it's like mountain sheep.
That rice you made last year was really good. Wes.
Oh, the dirty
you-
rice.
Oh, you made
The
that?
dirty dirt.
You made that.
Took that on the moose trip too.
Oh, you did? Yeah, that was really, really good. What all did you put in that?
You know, it kind of changes every time. Initially, years ago, my dad's best friend, we went to watch a football game at his house during the playoffs or something, and he made dirty rice. Just Zataran's dirty rice. And then as I grew older, I just loved cooking, and I started, experimenting with it and adding different things. And before you know it, I'm adding like moose burger and scallops and bacon and green beans and mushrooms and jalapenos, and it always kind of has the same type of stuff in it.
Uh-huh.
Shrimp, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's tremendous.
Cajun sausage.
So it's almost like gumbo-ish.
It's not really soupy at all, though.
Oh yeah, gumbo soupy. Yeah, you're dirty right. What'd you have in it last year? Year before last, actually.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you exactly.
It had a little spice to it though.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I had some Frank's Red Hot.
Okay.
Hit it with that. I like to get the bacon crispy. Some of John's sausages, shrimp,
But it had a mix of stuff in there then.
all kinds.
Yeah.
And it's good in like in a tortilla, like
Yeah.
a burrito.
Ooh,
for sure.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, get a little bit more kick.
it'd be really good with that Cajun sausage that Alaska Sausage does. We get a lot of that.
Yeah.
We served that at our wedding.
Oh, you did?
I made it for like 3 days. Big batches of that. We
Yeah.
went and caught a bunch of salmon.
That's awesome.
It was good.
Smoked it up and then threw it in, or?
I have,
Uh-huh.
but in small, because this could just be a real powerful flavor.
Right,
Smoked salmon
right.
can really take a dish over. So if you just sprinkle a little bit in there, not put too much in,
Yeah, yeah.
and give it that little zing, it's pretty good
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like not the primary
ingredient now.
ingredient. Yeah,
There is no primary ingredient except for the rice
Yeah.
that's true.
and meat.
Yeah.
Just call it AK
Different
dirty rice.
Yeah.
variations of meat. Yeah.
Lots of Prince William Sound prawns in there. Shrimp.
Oh man!
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And the
that
trick
sounds
when you
hot.
add, and you probably know this, but when you add seafood to a dish like that, You do it at the end of the dish, throw it in there and just let it cook off the heat, stir it, and that way you don't overcook your seafood because it cooks so quick.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, it can turn into rubber.
Yeah, real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of tom yum soup at home lately with the shrimp from the Sound, and that's a problem for sure. They turn it into rubber, yeah. Because I always make enough to last me the whole week. I love tom yum soup, and so you throw whatever 20 or 40 shrimp in there at the end, and they're perfect for when you eat them. But then when you go to reheat it, you're like, every time it's like the next level of rubber. So pretty much it becomes like the bottom of your old shoe, and by the
just
third
gnawing
reheating,
on it because you're not going to let a white spawn shrimp go.
Oh no, you'll eat it. No. Yeah, you'll chew it up.
Yeah,
choke it down.
And with seafood in the fridge, if I'm gonna let it last 4 or 5 days, like I always like to boil the whole pot. So.
Yeah, versus like trying to blast it in the microwave.
Yeah. The best way to do it is probably just like only throw a little bit of shrimp in each time from the freezer. But
did you guys see the meat eater video that he posted of this Hawaiian lady on how she does the octopus? Because I know we got that octopus, and like people really don't in Alaska don't know what to do with that, and a lot of people probably just throw them back. And we ended up keeping ours, and there's definitely a lot of ways. But it just showed from harvest to she did fried octopus on what she did, and so basically, she dove down, got the octopus herself, and what you do is you bite the brain, which is right above the eyes.
Right.
You just like when you're in the water, she just was like, and then it just turns white, like it just turns white, and then it's dead. That's when you know it's done.
The kill bite.
Kill bite.
Wow.
The kill bite.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So she just grabbed it up, and of course it's like attached all to her arm and stuff like that. And she just right above the head and just gives it like a bite, and then that thing just turned white and it's dead, all the way dead. It would like release the ink and all that stuff. And so you should pull it up real quick.
I'm working on it.
I think it's on the Meat Eater Instagram. So anyway, so she pulls it out, and then because it's very slimy, as we had ours, and my brother-in-law Nick cooked it. He boiled it for a long time and then took it out and took a lot of the like slime out of it. But what she did is she added a bunch of Hawaiian sea salt to it, okay, in a bowl, and she just smushed it and mushed 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 it. She says, like, just do it for like 20 minutes and just until it's like, when you think you're done, do it more. And you just get all this, like, of course, as you can think of all that, like slime, if you would do that to a salmon or anything.
Right.
You get all this slime coming out of it, right? And so then after you're done mushing it, then you can rinse it off, and all that stuff is like off of it. It takes away all that slime, all that outer layer, and then you pat dry it. And then it's just the actual taco, what I'm saying, Tako. It's the actual, just like the meat. You know what I'm saying? And then she cut the meat, she cut it up in different she'd take the leg out, lay the leg out, and cut it into, bite-sized pieces. Left some of the on the end where it's a little bit thinner, longer, because obviously once you fry it up, it's going to curl up.
Yeah.
She just basically put it in a little bit of flour with a little bit of, whatever, breading. Some seasoning. No breading, just flour and the seasoning. And then she just put it right into the fryer. She used avocado oil, which I've never thought about frying with. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And it looks so awesome, man. Did you find it?
I found her biting the thing, but I didn't find the...
Well, if you just play that, that's the whole video. Like, it's one continuous video of her getting the animal, taking it out, showing you what to do, and just by mushing it together, you get all of that, like, slimy, like, fishy flavor out of it. And then she just rinsed it off, and that was it, dude. It was like, wow.
That reminds me of, like, de-sliming fish. Pour a little vinegar...
Yes.
Water, pour some vinegar, and then pull them out and you rinse them off. The slime's gone.
Yeah, it's insane what vinegar does.
Yeah, same deal.
I haven't done it yet.
Oh,
but I heard about
so good.
I'd imagine, when you go cleaning after a big haul, like there was this summer, to be a good opportunity.
Yeah.
Or dipping or something,
Yep. So now when I don't dip, but your dad goes down, and when they come back with the cooler of the fish that I deal with, I pour the vinegar in the night before, so it comes in late. You know, I'm not gonna take care of the fish that night. Pour it in. And
how much vinegar do you put in that cooler?
I put so it's like the mega cooler. I don't know.
125 Yeti.
No, it's bigger than that. It's like
the big white cooler,
white one.
Okay,
I think that's bigger than 125.
like the one that would fit in your raft side to side.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 125.
Is it a
Yeti
125?
for 125?
Right.
If it's an Igloo, it's maybe a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it's bigger because it doesn't have the wall. Yeah, so it would be like the Igloo one. You know, I put 1 quart. Of and this year my vinegar, my like distilled vinegar was gone. I don't know what I used it for. I think probably cleaning humidifiers. I have little kids, so I used apple cider vinegar and it worked just fine. And so I left it overnight.
Wait. So you put that in, and then you add water till it's all the way full. Yeah, like it's all the way submerged
over the top fish.
Okay.
Yeah. So I poured that in, and then I added the water I added the water the next morning. So there was probably a little bit denser vinegar in the bottom, which was actually notable because the fish at the bottom, it had almost like worn through the skin. Like it had eaten away enough, like it was almost all the way through. It wasn't all the way through, but there was no more like texture on the outside of some of the bottom.
Did its
job. Yeah. And the year before was the first year I did it, and it was only sitting in it for 30 minutes. And it did its job in 30 minutes. So,
but normally you'd pour that in and then fill it up the rest of the water. Do you like mix it up at all?
No.
And then the next day it's just then you pour it out and rinse it off and it's slime free.
So 2 years ago, it only sat there in 30 minutes and it was pretty much slime free.
Really?
And last year I put it in at night, and in the morning I topped it off and then started on the fish, and everything was slime free. You still got to rinse it, right?
Yeah.
And
rinse it all off.
Yeah, and it kind of like separates
your neighbor's
some
yard?
of this. It's good for your lawn. So even
It
with
is
the
natural.
even with the vinegar, it didn't kill.
Very
the
good
lawn.
add to the compost.
So, yeah. The slime is. The vinegar water, I was a little scared was going to kill the lawn, and it didn't. But,
so next time you get an octopus,
I'm gonna try that one. Yeah. Well, that was one of the things when we got the octopus. We didn't know how to dispatch the octopus. Like you get it, and it's like, well, where do you obviously know it's got a brain in there? Right. And we actually got lucky by the knife. We're like, well, it's got to be right by the eyes, and then the knife in there just kind of
just limped it, and
it was done, and you know it was done. But the bite, that seems to be like the Polynesian way to do it.
Yeah.
When you're in the water.
Right.
I guess you could do it out of the water, but when you're in the water, everything's all wet anyway, and you just was like, and it was done, and just immediately turned white. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rena did pretty good on that octopus. She boiled it, and then I did a quick grill. I grilled it real fast.
Yeah.
It was overcooked. We ended up overcooking it, and I think it was when I grilled it, it was like a little too far. That's why I was thinking maybe we wouldn't boil it as long next time. But it was a little rubbery, but man, it's got great flavor. Octopus is delicious.
It is so good.
It really is.
Keep those octopus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We get more shrimp too.
I've never caught one.
True that.
You never got one? Yeah.
They sneak in.
We
my
got one on
pots and get
accident.
out.
I think it was like
Caught
attached.
it rod and reel.
Yeah, it was like attached. It must have been like after whatever the bait was.
Yeah, just grabbed a piece of.
It just
halibut
came up
bait.
with the reel. It was crazy.
Big boy.
That was so good.
Yeah, it was crawling around, then we stabbed it. Ended up like finding the sweet spot, and
But now you know, just give it the old bite.
Yeah.
you ain't gonna catch me biting an octopus, but I'll watch.
Come on, a guy with a beard like that ain't gonna bite a lot. That lady was biting an octopus.
Yeah, man. Girls are doing it.
Let me get somebody show me what's up.
You want to see it first?
Just watch the video.
Just sitting there, it's not dying. His lips all slimy.
Octopus brain
This
sushi.
wasn't like on YouTube.
It's not the same as YouTube. Oh, that's hilarious.
So we were talking, obviously, like, wild harvest. Earlier we were talking about freezers. Wes, you said you have a freezer 3 trace. Freezer's full.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your freezer game like?
Well, one of them is all salmon because this year was most epic.
Yeah, lots of fish.
Yeah, we put.
I think the reds are still coming in the Kenai.
We're gonna have no doubt. We're definitely giving some family members some boxes of fish this year.
Sweet.
because we were pretty fortunate. So that the other one, I've got a bunch of friends that we trade meat whenever we have meat. So I've got an assortment of stuff already in there. And then obviously this year's moose, and then that moose overflows into the other one that has some of the stuff that goes inside, the main freezer in the house that we don't have enough room for. But I mean, it's 3 and they're full.
Yeah.
And what's your preference on style? Like chest, stand up?
Stand up all day.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like something that can get buried in there and you won't see it. The stand ups are so much more accessible. And I've found that less stuff gets lost, more stuff gets used.
Absolutely.
Right.
You can organize so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, chest freezers are good for, like, what I would really love to have right now is a big chest freezer to put hides in. I've got a couple bears balled up. I got a wolf. I've got a skull that, I'd like to freeze. I'd love to be able to just, like, pop it in there and just have that one, like, open. But I have 2 stand-ups as well, and those are money. That's the only way to go. I mean, because then you can rotate your meat out better, and you can make sure you're polishing off.
See it all.
Yeah.
You just see it all
Organize
easily and organize it. Yeah.
Are all those in your garage, Wes?
They are.
They take up some space, don't they?
That's the one secret about freezers is that you build a pantry around the freezer. So that's what we did in our house. So I knew how big my freezer was, and I put the freezer in place, and then I built how big the pantry was going to be.
Your freezer's in the house?
Yeah, it's right. I have 2 little pantry doors.
Yeah.
But the one next to the oven is built for the freezer, the big, like 13.9 cubic feet.
Yeah,
and so
that's badass.
And the reason I do it that way is so then the meat gets used, and I just find that the meat gets used more often and more variety. So that whole one is like I keep it stocked and it's super organized. And what's in there, there's like frozen veggies and that kind of stuff on the top. But then every other row is all different types of like wild game. So we do like the salmon patties and smoked salmon and those type of varieties of salmon will be on like one shelf, and then the next shelf will be all the different varieties of like wieners or Cajun dogs or jalapeno cheddar or whatever. And then you get into your steaks and roasts. And then I do like a lot of sous vide stuff. So I pre-vacuum seal the sous vide meals in the little basket on the bottom.
Nice.
So those are like, boom, pull it out. What are we eating tomorrow? Oh, this one has spinach and like moose roast in it with already pre-seasoned, and I just throw it in the pot. And then when those kind of get deplenished, I replenish them by going out to the other freezer and just hauling stuff in. So that's like, what you're going to use. It's always out of that one that's in your kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I just got into the sous vide. Wife got me one for my birthday in February.
Awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to use it on this moose to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
Play around with it.
Have you ever sous vide in an air fryer?
Oh, you didn't know the air fryer made a sous vide edition?
Game Meat 2022, bro. Come check it out.
right.
Check my entry.
I think Ninja does have a sous vide.
Really?
I think so.
Really?
It's like an Instapot / sous vide.
Oh, that's cool.
That's something.
Yeah. The one thing with the sous vide that I noticed with wild game is like I can put like a ribeye beef steak in at 7 a.m. and turn it on at 7 a.m. at whatever 128 degrees or whatever I'm doing at, and it tastes the same as if I turned it on at 7 a.m. or an hour before I eat it. But the wild game, I found like it breaks down the proteins in the meat, and I can only like leave it in there that minimum amount of time. So I'll just do like an hour.
Oh, you don't leave it longer.
No,
it breaks
you
it down
can't.
too much.
So fast, yeah. So like if you start like a ribeye in one pot or like a backstrap steak or whatever at like 7 a.m, a moose say, and then do the same one in a different sous vide at 4 o'clock, they taste totally different. The meat has broken down so much that it's not as enjoyable.
You know what you should do? You should remember this because this is a very cool science experiment, and you're going to have to do about 16 of them if I'm doing the math right with your daughter and your son starting in 3rd grade till whatever grade. That's a really awesome science experiment. keep it in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, get creative with it. Because what my son was like, this is the first year he ever told me what his science experiment wanted to be. Like before, I was always like, oh, we try this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, God, we got to do the science experiment. It's due fucking 2 months. You know, we'll wait till 1 week and then go and just like make up something, whatever. And so now he's like, he wants to do a total ice fishing, like bait, lure, whole deal thing. But that sous vide thing would be a really good kid science.
Oh, it
experiment.
would be good. You could do like you could cook one in the morning, one like mid morning, one in noon, one mid afternoon, one late afternoon, and then finish them all the same way. Like butter or whatever you like to do on a hot skillet, and then cut them all up and look at like the difference in grain, and then taste the difference in like the structure of the meat and how well it stayed together.
Parents listening, get your science experiment game up.
Yeah,
and you create a chef in your house.
Oh yeah,
that now you can sit them back and they can put it together.
Yeah, that's right.
So which sous vide did you get?
A Nova.
Okay, all right. You can Bluetooth on that one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the key. Is like you throw in the.
What's the difference? Is there? It's the size of the bags, or
the bags are just your vacuum seal bags. I get mine from.
But what makes one better than another?
I don't know. I've only had one.
Yeah, I think just like what the feature of being Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, where you can be remote and access it, is like the feature I was kind of asking which one he got, because that's key, right? Like I can be at work at 3:00 in the afternoon and have thrown
Turn it on.
a cold pot of water on the stove with a frozen bag sitting in it.
Yeah.
And then 7 hours later, turn it on to the exact temperature I want. I can see that it's heated up to that temperature, and then I can turn it off when I want it turned off.
That's nice.
Yeah.
A man like Carl would say that's more shit to break.
Yeah. But you just YouTube it.
Yeah,
then.
until he eats some of it.
I say that because.
All right. Well,
Be all over it.
Well,
I think I'd try to fix that if it broke, because that's awesome.
yeah. No, I laugh because Carlo was my brother Carl. I call him Carl. When he's like doing his Carl shit, and he's like telling me he wants to buy a Honda 2000, and I told him, I got one right before the pandemic, and it was like it's $800, and he's like $800. They're like all this money. I guess you can't find them or whatever. I was like, yeah, I got the Bluetooth. He's like, oh, more shit to break. And I was like, actually, it's pretty cool. You can only have to go outside and you can just turn it on and turn it off, and it tells you how much gas is left. And did you get the one with the Bluetooth? Oh yeah, you fucked up.
Boy, I didn't.
Carl would be proud of you though.
I got it from Facebook Marketplace for $800 though.
Oh really?
Right before the hunt.
Perfect.
Yeah. Can't beat that. It's a good price.
Actually, Carl, if you're listening, I seen him today. I went to talk with the boys at Alaska Mining and Diving, and they have about 8 of them in there.
Nice.
All Bluetooth.
$2,800 a piece.
Actually, they didn't have a price, so they don't put prices on stuff over
That's
there.
not good.
You just wait till you go to the counter. Yeah.
They're just holding out their hand.
Yeah. Here you go. Yep. We take payments.
So the other things I learned with that sous vide were, well, of course you got to sear it, but the first steaks I made, they seemed to not be as juicy and didn't have as much flavor, and I was like, what is going on here? And then I realized that I had to like let them rest in the juice when you're done, and then it reabsorbs in. Did you learn that lesson?
I haven't.
Yeah, so if you like cut them out of the bag or whatever, and you put them in a little pan, you can just watch. So all the fluid comes out and the steak's sitting in it or whatever the meat is. You can just watch. Oh, I bet if you did like a time delay video, you could see it. But that meat, that level of juice will drop, and as the meat reabsorbs it up. It's really cool.
Well, a lot of recipes call for putting it in an ice bath. Oh. And that must be what it does. It accelerates that process.
Yeah, that makes sense. And leave it in the bag.
Yeah. Just throw it in an ice bath. Boom.
Yep.
Few minutes and then hit your sear.
Yeah. Okay. That's exactly.
Give it your butter bath and sprinkle your whatever, and boom.
Then lick your fingers.
Sounds like an entry in the meat party.
Butter bath sounds yummy.
Yeah.
Have you had fish in it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Halibut?
I haven't done halibut. I've been salmon.
It's got to
You
cook
like the
quick,
halibut?
right?
132 degrees, 30 minutes. Fresh dill, over.
Yeah.
It's perfect, moist, succulent halibut.
Yeah.
Are you still? Is it not too mushy when you get it out to still like give it a?
No, you could.
Yeah.
But it's just so perfect.
Yeah.
As is, you don't even need to give it a little grill.
You could. I mean, I definitely can see someone wanting that little char taste, that crust, you know, and the flavors that you can get with the different spices. But I don't know. It's just something about that simple dill and halibut at the perfect texture. I don't even long for anything else.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll have to try that one. I've put spinach in my salmon in there before, and it's done really well. It's I've been trying to look for other vegetables put in. I've put a lot of peppers and different like meats.
Haven't tried any veggies, but I'm just thinking they take too long unless it's something like a pepper that'll break down quick.
Yeah, yeah. Or broccoli was not a good idea. I did that one. Asparagus was pretty good. Yeah, it got real mushy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen some recipes for like corn on the cob, and I'm just like, what? At 180 degrees, you're just boiling it?
Yeah, yeah.
In the
and
bag?
they're so good on the grill. The little that
Boiled
like
corn is
Trader
no good.
Joe's chili lime on the grill. Whew, I could go all day with that.
How close to your heart is your smoked salmon recipe?
How what?
Close to your heart is it?
It's part of it.
Wow, that's
It's
pretty
coveted.
close.
It's like the left side of my heart.
That's one of those things, man. It's like moose camp, sheep area, smoked salmon recipe.
But here's my deal.
People just like they don't want to give it up.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
You never
do
wanna
it.
give it up.
I'll do it with you,
Yeah,
but we're not going to put it on paper. I'll do it with you, and you can learn it. And
I like that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's good.
Way fair. I've heard good things, man. Chad.
What else are some
It's
things
really
like
good.
that?
We had it in here.
Oh, yeah, that stuff.
Yeah.
The package we had in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
The
it.
one you
Chad
gave
brought
me,
it in.
I saved it for a time actually when your dad was here.
Yeah.
and Earl.
And we've had it before because you and James had made it before and given it to my dad and I. It's really, really good.
thanks.
It's really good. You had Severson's? Johnny's? He's got a good one too. Johnny has a real good one. He gave it up to everyone though on Scotty Gomez's Scotty's show.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Thompson
Blow
has
it
that
up.
Like, I've been asking
candy
for this
one.
for years, and then you just give it out to everyone. But that was the first text. Like, you owe me, motherfucker. Dude. Didn't want to give
tell
it
the
up for
world.
years, and then he just went on the Scott Gomez show and gave it to the whole world, and like that. I was like, oh man, okay, yeah, it's part of your heart, huh? Okay.
Apparently,
Sell
I'm
out.
not. I mean, we've been boys for how long?
Yeah, come on, Johnny, baby, come on now. Yeah,
that's-
Johnny does have a good one. If you haven't seen that, go to Scott Gomez's Instagram or his old videos. And Johnny Severson's one of the first. He's changed the name on his show a couple times. I think now he's with NHL, and it's Scotty Goes or Scotty's Show. But before it was just
Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty Doesn't Know, and then Johnny told everyone, so now everybody knows.
That's what it was called?
No,
It's just a movie.
Oh, that would have been super. Yeah, I know that
Scotty
quote. That
doesn't
is
know.
a funny song. Dude.
Yeah.
That is classic.
Oh, my
Scotty
goodness.
doesn't know.
yeah. Be on the tune-up. Scott's coming in too, man. We got him linked up here in October as one of our guests. We'll have to get to give up some of his recipes.
Yeah. He needs to show up I don't know. I've just seen some of those videos where he's like sitting back drinking coffee and he's like
Dude,
winter socks on and like the beard's growing out, you know.
Just comedy, dude. If you're not following Scott Gomez, man, and you're Alaskan, you got to go to it, dude. It's just comedy. It's all comedy. People think he's being serious. It's just hilarious, dude. Like the last one, like he hosted a marathon or something, dude, like a half marathon. I was like, Scott, you're hosting a marathon, dude? Like he's in his video, he has like his sweatpants like up to his like chest, dude. He's like running, he's sweating, and he comes to the camera and he's just like telling people about the things. Dude, hilarious.
Yeah. Shout out to him for moving back though. A lot of these guys, you know, they go to the NHL or move on and they don't come back to AK. And so
Is
he
he
comes back
full-time
to AK
here, living
and
back
does
in
a lot
Alaska?
of cool shit.
Oh yeah, he's still got his house. He ended up buying his house where his parents live
Yeah,
over there on
yeah.
the east side, and then he's got his cabin, you know, in the
on
Kenai.
river.
And he's got the foundation here that's super active.
Dude, the Scott Gomez Hockey Foundation. Yeah. If your kids are trying to get into hockey, go to that foundation, man. They're paying for kids to play hockey, dude. Scott Gomez Foundation. Gomez Foundation. We should actually look that up real quick.
It is. Scott Gomez Foundation.
Might be the Scott Gomez Foundation. They're doing awesome things for the community, man. All the time. He's doing all kind of stuff, which is really, really cool. And you're right, man. He's one of the guys who grew up here and he came back and he lives here now, man. Which is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, that's cool.
Scotty Gomez Foundation.
Scotty Gomez Foundation. Get your followers up, Scotty Gomez Foundation. Dang.
Yeah.
Go to Scotty Gomez Foundation and follow them.
I don't know.
There's the marathon.
Oh, they have a giant duck. I think I need that.
I think part of it, they host that big lake 3-on-3 tournament, pond hockey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The problem is, why we never play that?
It's the same weekend as Ferrande.
Oh, I did.
We really like the Ferrande one where the dot. It's just like participating in the Ferrande is a big deal. Yeah. So they're both cool things.
Scotty goes.
There it is.
Well, I think this is his new one where actually he's partnered up with like some big wigs, NHL, and they're doing that. But he was doing stuff on his own way before that. And it was just hilarious, man. If you just go follow him, he's just a comedy.
Hopefully we get him on, man. That'd be fun.
Yeah, no, he said he's coming on, and we'll get the full Scotty Doesn't Know show.
He's like a really wound up, high energy guy. Like I don't know him well. You guys all grew up with him. I got the chance one night to hang out with him. He's playing down in San Jose, and man, he was just like very outgoing, energetic dude. Like he was just funny and just like life of the party type.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I didn't know what kind of like cat he was. And I was surprised. I was like, wow,
I think that might have developed in him.
Full of
I grew up with Scott since we were little, and he was always kind of shy.
Oh.
And humble, very humble, always very humble with his skills.
Yeah.
And just like so humble's another word I'd say. Another word I'd say is generous. Just generous with his friendship, generous with people, and it's just beautiful to see. And it just shows his character to come back and give back to Alaska and do this hockey
Big
and
time.
like the women's high school hockey. Like they put a bunch of money, and he's doing stuff that people don't even know that he's doing out here for people, which is amazing. And his just like when I texted him up. Like, hey man, we'd love to have you come on the show. He's like immediate text back, 1000%, dude. I'll be back between these dates and this dates. Like, let's do it.
Perfect.
Know? So,
AK Roots Deep.
Yeah, man. If you got any funny questions or a story about Scotty, hit us up at Alaska Wild Project at Gmail. Or something you want to ask him. You know, any of you young hockey boys out there, something you want to hear or something. Because he's been on a lot of things on Spittin' Chicklets, and you heard a lot of history and stuff like that. But I really want to narrow down like what his Alaska growing up lifestyle has been and things that he does here. And I mean, he's just one of us that grew up that just happened to, play in the NHL and win a couple Stanley Cups.
Rookie of the year.
And I got a Patreon story about. I have a Patreon story about when he brought the cup to Ben Brady's house. Rest in peace, my man Ben Brady. I got a real good Patreon only story about that one.
Nice. I don't think I've heard this one.
No,
I can't wait to hear it.
No one's heard it.
I'm going to become a Patreon subscriber.
Yep, definitely do that.
Yeah.
So with just like circling back a little bit about the game prep, one thing that everyone needs to do is buy their bags at Alaska Butcher Equipment. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. You get these guys people going in buying the Food Saver bags and stuff. Don't buy those. Go over and get the real stuff over size specific and buy them in the big bag quantity, the 250 bags where you can get a bunch, 500 bags at a time at a cheap price. And then you can get the thicker bags like the 4 mils,
even the
fives, and then you can go thicker if you're going for like the bones, because I like to harvest the bones and then use them in bone broth and stuff, and they'll break the 4 mil bags, and then it saves your vacuum sealer because you're not getting a roll and having to seal both sides. So you already have a pre-sealed side. And then you can buy the ones, like if you're doing smoked salmon, you can get the ones that have the resealable Ziploc in it.
You can do that with your moose sticks too.
Yeah,
I've been doing
moose
that
sticks.
for years.
Yeah. So, get over there and buy their stuff for sure and support local.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
that Butcher Supply off Mountain View is awesome. They even got the stickers if you want to label. Because a lot of times you'll get and you're like, man, you're writing on the Sharpie, but it's really cool. I seen Thompson with just the label of it, like hot.
Yeah.
Hot. Like
Red
they just
salmon
had red salmon, caribou.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you'll pull something out, and if it's from Indian Valley or one of these other places, they don't actually like. It'll have the label of all of them, but they don't put the check mark on some of them. So you're like, what is this? Is this bear or is this moose?
Or year.
Or what year it is.
Yep.
And so they have those cool stickers over there.
Yep.
And the bags are just way better.
Yeah, they're incredible.
Yeah.
So I got a funny story about Butcher Supply. And Butch, the guy who owns it, he's a good dude.
The Butcher
His
Supply
name's
owner is
Butch?
Butch.
Yep.
Oh, that is so
Yeah. He's a real Alaskan dude, you know.
Middle name
Anyway, I used to rent vacuum sealers, at the end of July, because you'd get so many fish. And I was tired of burning through food savers, and you go rent one for $60 a day. And when you come back from a weekend and you dipped and you rod and reeled, it's like you got a few buddies, you got 100+ fish.
Yep.
So we just rent them. Well, the smoked salmon contest, they advertised at Sportsman's Warehouse, and one of the prizes was a vacuum sealer, and I was like, I want one. And the girl I was dating was like, well, you should put your smoked salmon in there. I was like, nah. And then I kept getting told by her and some other friends to do it, and that's what happened. I did that contest, and I won it.
And you won the vacuum sealer?
Yeah.
With your smoked salmon that we had the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And you're still using it to this day, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
That is awesome.
It's like, and if you're just buying one, it's such a one and done deal, right?
Buy once, cry once, like optics.
Yeah.
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 That's right.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth, man?
Good rain gear, too.
Yeah.
I have yet to buy a good vacuum sealer.
Oh, you got to. Go
I
get the
know,
one
man.
from Costco. It's half price now.
Okay, I'll say that the one from Costco is amazing, but if you don't want to spend plus $600 and you want a $300 one, the Cabela's commercial grade is like way better than the
Food Saver.
Food Saver, but not quite the Costco or that one.
Yeah.
It is like probably the best cheap one I've found. I've had mine for maybe like 3-4 years, and I vacuum sealed a ton of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's still legit.
Wes,
Yeah.
do you have like the big, like microwave sized, big old badass one? What's that one? What you don't even know what it's called?
MVS is that one right there. MVS
Oh, this one right here in the back. Yeah.
on the left.
Yep.
Right next to the air fryer and the sous vide machine.
But Costco changed it, right? So it used to be
I have giant countertops.
what VacMaster was the one they carried.
Yep.
Right. That's
Yes.
the one I have, and that one's really expensive, like $1,000.
That was $1,000
$900,000.
Okay. I see
But the
them
new
there.
one they switched to, which I'm hearing is really good, is like $600.
Yeah.
And hopefully it lasts as long as these Vac Seal ones or the VacMaster ones.
And those are
do.
chamber.
Yeah, they're chamber ones,
Yeah.
and so
Versus-
you can do liquids and stuff in them, right?
Yeah, right.
So it's really good for the sous vides.
My sealer up until Sunday was down at the cabin, and so we got this moose, and we had backstrap and stuff. So I borrowed a friend of mine who got it from Costco, and there is a noticeable difference in the suction and seal from the one that I have versus the Costco.
The new Costco one.
Which one's better? The one you have is better?
Yes,
The old school, traditional.
Is your
it's only 2 or 3 years old, so I don't know if it's the old one or new one.
okay?
Because I never bought one from there,
Yeah,
so
I
I
know,
can't really
like-
speak on it. But I think it is the
Yeah, the 2 or 3 years ago
it's
they
blue.
switched.
It's got the switch
Yeah,
on the side.
that's the newer one.
Switch on the side and the little lever that holds the lid when
Yeah.
you're not operating because it naturally
Yeah.
springs up.
Right. That's a lot like the VacMaster that I have.
And what's the one that you have? The Butcher Supply one. They
It's
obviously
an
have the most
Italian
legit.
made one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
and it's two. You could buy. What are they at Costco?
the new ones are that
600.
aren't by VacMaster. I don't know what the new company is. They're 600.
Okay, so you can buy 4.5 of those before you bought one for Bush's.
Right.
Because that's $2,800.
Right.
Oh wow. Yeah. Now that's another thing that'd be really cool to be at a area where multiple families can use.
Right.
You know, like at the commercial kitchen where you have the commercial vacuum sealer, all that stuff.
Dude, you can turn that into a fish house too. I mean, they have that in Seward at the military.
Oh,
Yeah, someone step it up, man. You can rent it for the day.
Yeah.
Go use all the equipment, whatever they
Butcher
feel like
Supply should just open a
little supply, like use our stuff, rent it. Yeah, good idea.
Another
turn into a
tip,
mess,
though, on those sealers, if you want to get one from Butcher Supply, they refurbish the rentals and sell them. So if you get on their list, you can get one
it's a list.
for a lot less
There's
than a new
waiting
one.
list for the
And, I mean, those
Backmaster?
guys, they're a simple machine. I mean, not really simple, but the guys got it down. They know how to work on them.
Right.
And they can, refurbish it. It's basically new, but it's obviously not.
Right.
It's worn. And that's a fraction of the normal price.
Right. And when it starts to wear out again, the guy that you bought it from the guy that knows the maintenance.
It's
on it. So
refurbished to
just get
furbish.
another one. Yeah.
But do they rent them still?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can go rent the $2,800 one.
Yeah.
For $28 a day.
Shit, it's probably $100 now.
10, 12 years ago. Well, I haven't rented one since 2011. So before that, it was like $60-65 a day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
If they're
That's
available,
awesome.
I bet there's like waiting lists for that kind of shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's so many people that are trying to use those things. Yeah, Eric picked one up and we vacuum sealed like whole deer shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
So you can pretty much just like pull them right out and cook
Yep.
them. Oh my God. That was amazing. You want to talk about preserving some food for a long period of time, especially if you're doing those like Fifield did the steaks.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you vacuum seal those suckers up, man.
Yeah, because you have the bone and you have like spiky parts of the bone and
Yeah.
pointy
Yep.
parts, and so that's when you want that 5 mil bag or
Yeah.
whatever it is, so
Yeah.
that doesn't like
Mm-hmm.
puncture a hole in there.
They
Poke
also
through it.
sell bone guard. It's really good. It's a heavier, thick liner that goes inside the bag.
Huh.
It's really popular with shrimp.
Okay.
People because they sell those foam
Yeah,
trays.
yeah.
Right.
Foam tray, shrimp. The shrimp shells are really
There's,
sharp.
like, pokey,
Right.
Yep.
And so they sell a bone I just
Shield,
said it.
bone guard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bone
Yeah.
guard.
Mm-hmm.
That's super cool.
And it's good for fillets too.
Yeah. That's
Because
pretty
I've
slick.
had smoked salmon you vacuum seal and those bones
Oh, right.
Yeah.
stick out
yeah.
pretty good.
Do they have a smoked salmon competition yearly?
The only one I ever heard of was the one West one.
Maybe we need to do the AWP
That would be
smoked
fun.
salmon.
Yeah.
I did our
We should.
Ferrandi competition.
Maybe
be
do
part
like,
of
The meat party. Yeah.
start out.
it'd be fun to do like a seasonal one. So you could have like smoked salmon for one, and then you have like something like for like
Spring bear.
like something with a bear, and then like maybe towards like Thanksgiving something with like a bird, like ptarmigan or duck,
Oh, fowl.
goose,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
Crane.
And then I don't know what you would do in the winter, but maybe
The
some
game
beaver.
feed.
Yeah. Then we'll have the game feed.
Yeah.
Do it all.
We're working on it, people. We're trying to bring some more stuff
it
to you
up.
guys and get some of those recipes out. And I mean, there's so much to offer. I feel sorry for you people that don't live up here.
There's so many like little tricks. Like it was actually my mom that showed me how to how to do a reduction with sloppy joes, which is like super basic. Like I loved moose sloppy joes. Moose sloppies was like a college Thursday thing in college at Washington State. People came to my condo or apartment on campus and ate moose sloppies. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Well, a few years ago, after we had the twins, my mom was in that house a lot more, and now I'm an adult cooking, which as a kid I wasn't cooking that much. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I don't do sloppy joes like that. I do a reduction all day."
So it's not so juicy?
With Dimitri's, yeah. And she puts that Dimitri's, that Bloody Mary mix in it. And it turns out that this like reduction sloppy joe is just fucking amazing. And it's just like you do these little tricks, and
Well, February
that are really
15th,
easy.
tell your mom we're having the
Oh, yeah.
competition.
I don't think it's sloppy joes and I ain't gonna win no competition, but but it's super easy, right? And it's like these little tricks that you when we share them, our food becomes a lot more.
Man, what'd you
bomb.
bring to the party? Sloppy Joe. What'd you call him?
Moose sloppies. It was like Moose Sloppies and Friends. Remember Friends was on that? That was before we went out to the pub.
Yeah.
To the Coug.
Oh man.
Oh man, moose sloppies and cougars.
We got to come up with a really good prize for the game meat. Some of those categories, man. We'll come up with something.
Definitely,
man.
I think you got to have a trophy. You know.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a
Dish of the night,
trophy.
You get to hold the trophy for the year.
What's on the top of the trophy? You know, like the karate guy, and they have like the hockey guy.
The cup.
Like one guy, like just holding up, like
He's got to be like wearing a snowshoe in wearing a snowshoe on one side, like a sandal on the other, like
or maybe like you know how like when you get a big moose backstrap and people hold it up, like that, and it's just like long, and you got your arms all out wide, and it's just like
15 strip of meat.
Yeah, the anaconda. Yeah.
There we go. That 15 strip of meat.
Who makes trophies? We got to go holler at them about this. If you make trophies, hit us up.
Just hands holding meat. It's like,
We're not going to make the everyone's a winner trophy.
No. You don't just get a medal for coming.
No, you don't get a
You will have a good time if you come, but you're not going to walk away with a medal. Promise.
We'll take away your trophy.
Yeah, I imagine we could get some local vendors out there to maybe comprise of some cool packages.
Some gift packages of some sort.
Kevin hooked us up with a backpack at Dude's Day, and there's maybe something not to that magnitude, but anything that a local vendor that has some really cool shit that we would be willing to throw down on it.
Especially if it was like around cooking.
That too.
Yeah.
Like a store.
Yeah, that'd be
maybe
rad.
Alaska Butcher Supply could throw in one of those vacuum sealers. Who knows? I mean, could get real interesting. Could get real interesting.
Maybe some sort of knife set or something cool.
Yeah.
Badass
a butcher
cutting,
block, maybe Sweeney
board,
or Josh Nix can come through with a really cool butcher, charcuterie board or something like that,
We could get real
Hey,
creative.
We're getting
with
creative
that.
here, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Watch out now.
It's AWP, baby.
I'm going to have to break out some recipes.
Some recipes, dude.
Recipes.
Start claiming
Recipes?
surprises.
Did you say recipes?
You know it.
You didn't catch that part?
Oh, wow. Dang, that sounds like a T-shirt.
With his face on it, cheesing.
Recipes.
We want more recipes. You got to wear your Elmer Fudd hat for that.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
my
great.
God. That was good, Wes.
That was awesome.
Really
That's
good,
really,
man.
really good. Well, listen, guys, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. If you're listening right now on Apple, just pause, scroll up. You can leave us a Apple Podcast review. If anything, just rate it. If we suck, we suck. Give us a 1 star. If you like what you're listening to, put a couple words down. It's very, very helpful. Go to AlaskaWildProject.com. Like I said, we have new shirts, new hoodies. We got a bunch of new merch coming out. Patreon members, if you're a Patreon member, we will have coming out as a Patreon story. We will have the discount code in there for you guys. If you're not a Patreon member, go to our website, scroll down, you'll see the Patreon link. Just click on that. $5, $10, $50. You know what I'm saying? If you're a baller, come through. And thank you for the support, man. We appreciate it, Wes. Thank you for coming out, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks,
That was
Wes.
a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, we really
Thanks for coming
appreciate
out.
you. Alaska, thank you for listening, and stay wild.
You remember my speaking to you of what I call your overcautiousness. Are you not overcautious when you assume that you cannot do what the enemy is constantly doing?
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They are the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Lawn Pro AK, your year-round professional property maintenance company, providing services such as weekly lawn maintenance, driveway sweeping, snow and ice management, and tons more. Get your free estimate today at lawnproak.com.
Anchortown Dogs, located at 4th Avenue across from the old 4th Avenue Theater. Look for the blue and gold umbrella. From reindeer dogs to bomb euros, they've got you covered. Anchortown Dogs, your local gourmet hot dog and sausage cart.
Menegato's Accounting, locally owned and operated advisory and tax accounting solutions. Passion, experience, diligence. Learn more at menegatosaccounting.com.
Double Shovel Cider Company, located off Arctic and 58th. Handcrafted Alaskan-made cider. They also have a tap room downtown on the corner of 5th and E. Check them out at doubleshovelcider.com.
Serrano's Mexican Grill, 2 locations, one on Tudor, one on Northern Lights. The Northern Lights location has their new tequila bar. Check it out. Also see their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation. Find their products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more at the Treehouse AK and other dispensaries around the state. Ask your local bud tender about AKO.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, your all-in-one cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.